Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Turner Sports.
Tucker from three. Yes! And the foul! Unbelievable! Frank Hodges committing a foul on a three-point play. All-star hand-checking Starks goes baseline. You gotta love it! Ewing for Smith. Smith. Stop again. What a play by Scottie Pippen. Final seconds, Jordan from Armstrong, and the Bulls have defeated the Knicks.
Oh, this is ugly. Right in front of the commissioner.
Right in front of the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern.
Lob comes into Tony. Look out, it's on line.
Yeah! Bulls win! Bulls win it! 35 seconds away from the Knicks dethroning the Chicago Bulls.
Working on Starks. Got him in the air. Michael Jordan has 55. Michael finds the opening. Whittington with a chance. That was outstanding.
Welcome to the United Center in Chicago. And yes, these teams have had classic battles in the past, and another one is anticipated tonight. A terrifically legitimate battle between the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with Chuck Daly, and soon we'll be hearing from Craig Sager. And we just got the word about 5 minutes ago, Chuck, that Dennis Rodman is going to be in the Bulls starting lineup. He's wearing green hair tonight and missing 12 games with a calf muscle pull, and he's going to be in the lineup. Chuck, what does it all mean for the Bulls, who are in first place, 13-2 with a great record?
Well, first of all, it's the color of money, so it must be money time. However, what it means is that they're going to have more rebounding, be more physical. However, when you add a player who's been out this long, you'll wonder how he's going to play. Going to be kind of interesting to see.
Michael Jordan with his 30-point scoring average. The team coming off a 6-1 trip on the road. Now, the New York Knicks are having an outstanding start, 13-4. Their new coach is Don Nelson. As we look at the numbers, what has been the difference between Don Nelson and Pat Riley, last year's coach?
Well, the perception is that they're a looser club, and they are averaging 3.5 points more per game. They're moving the ball through Mason at forward, and they're getting more people involved in scoring. In fact, they're taking some shots and scoring away from Starks and Ewing, trying to spread it around. It'll be interesting to see in this 8- and 9-man rotation what happens down the road.
And Anthony Mason has been a beneficiary as the point forward in Don Nelson's offense. Let's talk about the keys. What do the Knicks need to do to win this game tonight?
Well, the Knicks obviously must control Michael Jordan. He's doing a lot more posting up, so keep him under control and keep him off the foul line. I think it's going to be crucial to the game because both clubs only give up 95 points.
And as far as the Bulls, what's the key for them tonight?
I think they've got to control the physical qualities and Mason and the different approach that Don Nelson has. You know, a terrific game to watch.
All right, it's the Bulls and the Knicks coming up, and when we return, we'll send you back to our Atlanta studios for Vince Cellini and Dick Versace. Knicks and Bulls coming up.
TBS NBA Wednesday is brought to you by Jeep, makers of the new Jeep Grand Cherokee. By Sony PlayStation, the ultimate video game challenge. You're not ready. And by the more than 1,170 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
Introducing a new luxury vehicle with the most powerful V8 in its class, the safety of dual airbags, and the ability to take you where no luxury car can. The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. With over over 40 major advancements, it's truly the perfect luxury vehicle for whatever nature unveils. Jeep, there's only one.
You, son, are playing with the gods. And when you're out there, breathing in the hot, stinky breath of the gods, ask yourself, what in the sand hill am I doing here? You are ready.
In Normal, Illinois, Gene Goebel is popular with folks who need their car fixed. He does good work, and he doesn't charge an arm and a leg. Because when he needs auto parts, Gene buys a lot of them at AutoZone. You see, the prices are low every day at AutoZone. So a lot of good mechanics like Gene just pass the savings on to their customers. Plus, they can still get the best quality parts. Sure, they know how to do the work right, but they also know how to save money doing it at AutoZone.
Sometimes to get to heaven, you gotta go through hell first. Try out, impress the scouts, pray you get drafted. Madden NFL 96, the ultimate judge.
Hey, Santa, our budget's real tight.
No problem. Just think of Craftsman. It's the gift guaranteed to last forever. Just look at all these great Craftsman gift ideas from Sears. At great prices, too. Craftsman for Christmas. Only at Sears and Sears hardware stores.
NBA Wednesday on TBS. It's the right call on a cold December night. The Knicks and the Bulls are turning up the heat. I'm Vince Giannini, and I'm joined, as always, by my studio analyst partner, Dick Versace. Not only an analyst, a catalog model. A lot of people don't know that.
Vince, how are you tonight?
Versace speaks momentarily, but first this. Lately, there is little spirit in the 76ers, losers of 11 in a row, but maybe help is on the way. Derek Coleman, obtained last week by Philly in a 6-player deal and sidelined by an irregular heartbeat, said he feels just fine. Fine enough, in fact, to dress and start for the Sixers tonight against visiting Dallas. And it didn't take long for D.C. to pull the trigger. Vernon Maxwell got him the ball, and Derek popped in the jumper at the Spectrum. But elsewhere around the NBA, Roy Tarpley is finished. The Dallas forward was banned from the NBA for violating his aftercare program. Last week, he tested positive for alcohol a 3rd time. His contract is null and void. It would have paid him $23 million for the next 5 years. As far as a possible return, there is no timetable for a reinstatement. And speaking of the Dallas Mavericks, is the silent treatment happening in Big D now? There's a reported feud between Jim Jackson and Jamal Mashburn, and during last night's loss to New York, Coach Dick Motta benched Jim, Jamal, and his other J, Jason Kidd, for the final 5.5 minutes of that 5-point loss. But speaking of the Mavs here, and maybe Dick Motta said there's another J involved, and that's jealousy, Dick Versace, and they've lost 10 of 12. Are these losses manifesting themselves now?
Well, losses always manifest themselves, and it can be a problem. But, you know, when I was a high school coach in Chicago, Dick Motta was the coach of the Bulls, and I've seen him pull this maneuver before. What he does is he starts a little rumor that there's some problems with some guys on the team, mainly because he's dangling these guys as trade bait. And it's my understanding that the trade bait in this case was Sean Bradley. And when Sean Bradley was traded to the Nets, Motta then steps back into the locker room, says, hey, look, let's get together. I'll be the coach I was last year. You be the team you were last year.
Well, it's an unusual strategy. We know the Dallas Mavericks do need a win. And I'll tell you this, Dick and I will be back at the break for the Reebok halftime report, both screaming for the basketball, because Avery Johnson of the Spurs will be running the show. AJ joins us in studio. He'll be talking about things like his ex-teammate, Dennis Rodman. The Worm is going to be in the starting lineup tonight for the Chicago Bulls, green hair and all, as the Bulls host the New York Knicks. Dick Stockton, Chuck Daly, and Craig Sager bring you all the action from Chicago, and that is coming up next.
Never seen anyone do the things that you do. Never known anyone who could hold me like you. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You've got this hold.
When there's something that needs to be held, there's no faster, easier way than with a quick grip bar clamp. One hand holds things securely yet gently.
left and didn't know it, or were part of it and just forgot. If you joined the American Express Charge Against Hunger over the last 2 years, you made a difference. But the fight isn't over. Every time you use your American Express card, we'll give to Share Our Strength, a leading anti-hunger group. Because now through December 31st, the Charge Against Hunger is on again.
If it fits a little better. If it holds up a little longer. If it feels a little more comfortable. Don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
Back at the United Center here in Chicago, and a great crowd. Sellout as usual, the 394th consecutive sellout. Dating back, of course, to the old Chicago Stadium. Starting lineups, and Mason, Oakley, Ewing, Starks, and Harper, the same five that Don Nelson has used practically all year. And you see Dennis Rodman starting up front with Pippen, Luke Longley the center, and Ron Harper and Michael Jordan in the backcourt. And right now, let's send you over to Craig Sager. Craig?
When I walked in with Dennis Rodman today, he said he was 75% healthy and did not expect to play. I then ran into Phil Jackson, who said he activated him, and he expects Rodman to play. I said, Coach, is it Dennis's decision? He said, let me put it like this, Craig. You have a shoe and you have a foot. Sometimes you have to use a shoehorn to make it fit. So Coach has solved his first conflict with Rodman by applying a little bit of pressure and putting him in the starting lineup.
All right, Craig. What do you make of that, Chuck?
Well, last night, by accident, I ended up having dinner with Mr. Rodman, and he indicated to me he would not play this evening, wasn't sure whether he's going to play against San Antonio. And, you know, knowing Dennis the way I know him, when he's thrust into a situation where he's not quite comfortable or ready, he sometimes doesn't respond well. It's going to be kind of interesting to watch the development of this game and his play.
He played the first 3 games of the season and has missed the last 12, and the Bulls have been talking about, despite their great success of 13-2, they need the aggressiveness and the rebounding in the defense that Rodman offers them. The Bulls are undefeated at home, 6-0, and the Knicks 7-2 on the road, so this is quite a collision. Surin Azumanian, Gary Zielinski, and John Heatley are the officials, the replacement officials, and 3 of them. And, of course, the regular officials should be back next week. Tip is controlled by the Knicks in blue, and in the hands of the point forward, Anthony Mason. Jordan is guarding Harper, and Harper starts the game with a 3 and hits.
Derek Harper having perhaps his best year, maybe headed for an all-star berth. I think he's really looking for it. Kind of late in his career, 11 years, but a terrific player, and maybe this is it.
13-year veteran, and could get on the all-star team. Who knows? Scottie Pippen comes back with a 2-point basket. Starks picked up by Harper, drives the baseline and gets inside, and a foul is called against the Bulls, and it's going to be against Luke Longley.
Luke Longley is first. The team's first.
Knicks and the Bulls each have won 3 in a row as we get underway in this game. And as we mentioned, the Knicks 7-2 on the road, tied with the Bulls with the best road record in the NBA with 7 wins and only 2 setbacks.
And there's Starks, John Starks, taking the ball to the basket. I'm sure that's an influence on Nelly. Last year he didn't do so much. He settled for the 3 so much more. And, you know, I think by going to the basket, he can set himself up outside and be a more effective player. At least I think that's what Nelson wants him to be.
Starks averaging over 14 a game, but coming off his season's low of only 6 points last night against the Mavericks at Madison Square Garden. 1 out of 2. Pippen controlling now Rodman. Mason is guarding Pippen. That was an expected matchup, and a fall away by Michael Jordan in and out. Harper is guarding him. Saved by Rodman. That's what he does best, and Harper slams it through for the Bulls.
Yeah, Ron Harper being alert, getting to the basket. His minutes have been diminished, particularly on that West Coast trip.
But already we have seen the dividends of having the offensive rebounder in Rodman. Here is Patrick Ewing handling the ball, blocked by Longley, tips it into the hands of Mason. 7 on the shot clock. Working in against Rodman. and a 3-second violation called against the Knicks.
By bringing Rodman into this lineup, they are, in fact, going to put more pressure on Mason, who's now their leading ball handler. They're running an offense to him. That's going to change their philosophy a little bit. Let's see if the Knicks adjust.
Right now, Oakley is guarding Rodman and sloughing off and going toward the boards. Pippen working against Mason. And a great play by Scottie Pippen, who comes in as the leading scorer for the Bulls at 19 a game, their top rebounder and playmaker.
And the Bulls last year were 3-1 against the Knicks, mostly beneficiary of Scottie Pippen's great play.
Ewing set a pick, gets the ball back, and hits the outside shot. Ewing averaging nearly 21 a game, the leading scorer and top rebounder for New York. Longley getting it low. Working his way in, and he beat Ewing baseline impressively.
A very aggressive play going to baseline. Obviously, Ewing going to play it by himself. If he can be aggressive in this lineup, it makes him so much more dangerous.
Oakley baseline over Scottie Pippen. Both teams hot in the early going, and the score is tied at 8.
Yeah, that's intriguing, and you know that they know it's a big game when that starts happening. So many games start with teams, except Jordan has missed 2, which is unlike him.
Coming back is Starks, but the Bulls very quick on defense, getting back, feeding Ewing, filling the lane. Starks to Ewing, and the New York Knicks have started off 4 for 5 from the field.
Surprisingly, although they're both outstanding defensive clubs, this has turned into an offensive game, at least early. I think we'll see the screws tightened as we go along.
But we have a playoff atmosphere, Chuck, unmistakably as we start this one.
They both know they're going to be there at the end of the year. I think they both think they're going to collide somewhere along the line.
Longley missing the perimeter shot. Anthony Mason picked up by Dennis Rodman. And Oakley in and out. That was a 2-point shot attempt by Charles Oakley.
And one of the beneficiaries of Don Nelson's new offense, he's going to get more shots. At least he has thus far.
He has certainly spread it around a lot more. Pippen driving and throws it away. Try to go out to Jordan, but Harper intercepted. Harper stops, puts it up, and the follow-up by Starks is good. And the Knicks off to an impressive start, leading 12-8.
Great ball followed by Starks. But I'm surprised that Harper didn't take it to basket. He might have been able to draw a foul on Michael Jordan at that point, settling for that little 15-footer.
Jordan cutting across the lane. 0 for 3 now is Michael Jordan. The rebound by Ewing. Knicks by 4 with 8:10 to go in the first quarter, and Starks driving in and is fouled. And for the Chicago Bulls, that foul is on Ron Harper, his first.
Starks again taking it to the basket, and I'm sure that that's what they want him to do, to make him more effective as a player, not to settle for that long-range shot all the time.
Knicks coming off a win over the Dallas Mavericks last night, 92-87. They held the opposition to 85 points in their 3-game winning streak. Ewing intercepted by Pippen on his quickness, feeding Harper.
I think on the previous play, Ewing was surprised when he turned and faced, and there was no double team. Didn't know quite how to handle it, and so he tried to pass up the middle, got picked off.
That quickness into the inside defense for the Bulls is unmatched in this league. Rodman not giving Mason much of an opportunity. Back to the three-point line, no basket, and illegal defense called against the Chicago Bulls, the first of the game.
Previous play, there's Ewing trying to get it inside to Oakley. And Scottie Pippen picks it off, lays it off nicely to Harper, and Harper's gotten to the basket twice for 2 field goals.
Next illegal D on the Bulls will be a technical foul. Ewing fighting his way in against Longley, and he should do well against Luke Longley tonight.
Well, he recognizes right away that he's got and there's Pippen right back with a 3, but Ewing recognized right after the previous play that he has a one-on-one situation. Became very aggressive, went to the basket, scored easily.
Knicks lead by 1. Ewing working for position inside against Longley. Starks finds him. Turnaround against Longley, and Ewing starts out red hot. He has 8 points on 4 for 5 shooting.
You just read the night. He's got this kind of touch because he's such a great shooter. One of the premier shooters in the league. Usually you don't think of that as centers, but we happen to have a couple of pretty good ones in the league right now.
Jordan dipping inside, misses again. Rodman keeps it alive, and he's fouled as he's thrown to the court by Charles Oakley. And I expect, Chuck, we're going to see a little of this tonight.
We talked about it earlier today. Oakley will not put up that. Yeah, he won't want to get beat like this. Here's the shot. Ewing goes for the rebound. Here's fighting with one hand to get it up. Oakley over the top and just pulls him dramatically with the left arm.
The Eagle Vision is the first sedan in the world with the auto stick system. Porsche offers their version in a coupe. This German engineer will compare. Du kennst mich doch. Ich liebe Schwarz. So what do you think, Goons?
Also, was denkst du denn, Goose?
Das ist sehr gut. Ich meine, einfach automatisch, Autostick.
He likes the choice of automatic or auto stick. Excellent handling without a clutch.
What do you think of Vision's price?
Hast du mal eine gute? Screwed.
No, we get the message. Thank you.
Test it yourself. Make the call. 1-800-2-TEST-EAGLE.
13 Days of 007 continues on TBS. Tonight, Sean Connery is Bond, and you only live twice.
Well, enjoy yourself.
10:30 Eastern tonight. TBS. We give Bond like no one else.
From the time you get the ball, you're looking for that crack in the defense. The eye contact with a teammate, that split second when the defender turns his head. You see it all. And when that moment comes, when you thread the needle just right, all you can think about is getting the ball back and doing it all over again.
Nobody else has it. Only Headline News has the sports ticker. Continuously updated scores from the college hoops to the pros, even while the games are in progress. Headline News sports ticker. This basketball season, you'll always know the score.
16-13, the Knicks are in front nearly halfway through this first quarter. Charles Oakley, who's been an intimidator, instigator, inspiration, and had confrontations with Chris Webber and Larry Johnson this past week, and now starting something with Dennis Rodman, Chuck.
Well, you know, we sense that this probably could happen because Rodman coming in the game, they don't expect it. They don't want to let Rodman have his own way around the offensive board. There he got his left hand on it. Then he tries to take it back up. Oakley's going to make sure he doesn't get it up, and he's going to be physical with him.
Dennis Rodman has all 5 Chicago Bulls rebounds thus far as he misses the first free throw coming in. Remember, he has played in only 3 games and just 3 for 5 from the free throw line on the season.
He'll get frustrated on this because he probably hasn't spent as much time. He gets the second, but he's easily frustrated in that aspect of the game.
There is the three-quarter pressure by the Chicago Bulls. Now Starks fires a 3. He's got it. John Starks, who is the leading Knicks three-point shooter, gives New York a 5-point lead.
Well, the Knicks play last night. They come into this game, but they don't need a lot of preparation. They've played so many games together. They understand the Bulls. They know they're going to throw that trap at them, and in that case, Starks gets a great look.
Pippen coming back short with the 3 and pushing inside, and a loose ball foul has been called against the Bulls, and it'll be against Rodman. That's his first. Dennis Rodman, who, of course, is an entertainer, practiced yesterday without pain, and I think the Bulls are glad they have him on the team if it results in a championship, and so far he has dedicated himself in practice.
He will do that. He and Mason, what a terrific matchup, and there Mason gets his own way, gets in the lane, extends himself, and gets the shot.
First basket of the game for Anthony Mason, coming in averaging over 14.5. Third leading scorer for Don Nelson. So far, Michael Jordan has not scored. He has missed 3 shots from the field. Knocked away. Fight for the loose ball. And Jordan recovers with 5 on the shot clock. And Ron Harper goes strong to the basket. And Rodman can't put it in. And the Knicks come down with it with Mason. Wild flurry at one end of the floor. Oakley left open. Misses. Trying to get it over Longley, and the rebound by Pippen.
I sense you're probably going to see Scottie Pippen become very aggressive offensively tonight. He senses that he's let Michael take over in a lot of games. This one won't be the case as he did last year when they did so well against the Knicks.
Pippen working against Mason inside with a fall-away rejected by Ewing. Into the hands of Harper. 1 second on the clock, and Harper throws up a wild shot from 3-point territory. Harper coming right back, guarded by Jordan. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Knicks have had the lead most of the way. They're up by 7. Ewing working, finds Harper a 3. And Rodman knocks it away from Oakley. That's his 7th rebound.
And so effectively, he does it by tipping the ball. He doesn't go up and rebound like normal people. He's up, tips the ball, and runs it down.
And the lob into Michael Jordan from Luke Longley, and Jordan with his first basket of the game, 1 for 5 from the field. But that's great timing that Rodman has for those rebounds.
And rebounding is really all about timing. Smaller guys can be good rebounders if they have good timing. And there's ways to work on timing. You could become a better timing rebounder by working on practicing and doing a lot of tipping.
You wonder why you don't see more of that.
Because most guys are not as athletic.
Harper gets the 3. That is the third three-point basket of the game for the Knicks and the second for Derek Harper. And an 8-point Knick lead, quieting this crowd here at the United Center.
A couple of things may be happening. One, the Bulls have had it pretty easy with their record. They haven't faced a tough game really in a long time, except for score.
No basket as Pippen puts it up, and we have a foul before the shot, and it's on Patrick Ewing, his first.
And another factor is the day's rest. They've had a lot of time to rest, and a lot of times teams play better when they play every other day rather than having 2, 3, or even 4 days off. And I think you're seeing a little bit of that right now.
So it may take the Bulls a quarter or so before they get their rhythm back. Pippen winds up on the deck and scoops it in. Scottie Pippen now with 9 points is the game's high scorer.
What a magnificent drive on the baseline. How many guys in this league can get that shot off even, let alone make it?
Rodman has 7 rebounds, all 7 for the Bulls, and the Knicks doing the job with the outside three-point shot as Starks and Harper each with 2 from downtown.
You know, the addition of Rodman to this game might have psyched the New York players up a little bit more, and they're really ready to play.
I think that's a good point. They see Rodman in there, and they say, we have to now raise it up a notch, as it is. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly here in Chicago. Here's Ewing. And Ewing, Harper did a good job in defending against Ewing, and now Pippen fires a 3 from the top. Wild shot. And a long rebound into the hands now of Derek Harper.
They need to slow it down there. I know Scottie Pippen is feeling it, but he didn't have much help on the offensive board. Needed to slow it down a little bit, kind of get into a rhythm, get into their offense. They're not controlling the tempo of this game.
Starks leaves it in the corner for Ewing. Ewing over Longley. Ewing has had some tough outside shots his last 2 attempts and has missed them.
Normally, you know, he'll make at least 1 out of 2 of those.
Jordan, who has scored 2 points, that coming on a layup, finds Harper. Harper misses outside, and Oakley with good position on Rodman gets the rebound.
Great defensive rebounding job.
And a 3-on-2 break. Mason puts it up. And this has been a non-stop end-to-end battle. It has not been any kind of a half-court duel, at least thus far. 1:40 remaining in the first quarter, and Pippen is fouled. And the Chicago Bulls, Chuck, shooting just 34% of the field as they trail by 9.
The team's first.
When you go up to Seattle, you find out that Magnolia Ace Hardware makes new ideas a family affair. And your local Ace will give you plenty of ideas on how to save throughout the holidays. It's true. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Where will the next great movement in popular music come from?
You know what the charm of that is? You never know.
When life calls for deeper answers, enter CompuServe, the online service with deeper content. Call for free software.
Yo, you think you got moves? I got rim rocking, 180, 360 fly swatting, tomahawk wielding, midair dishing, devastating kind of moves. Rim twisting new moves. NBA Live 96. Bring your best game.
Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Dennis Rodman trying to get an offensive rebound. He's moving down to the baseline now to get into the rest of the match. But look, Charles Oakley, he grabs him by the hip in the rear end, makes sure he keeps him off, retrieves the ball. That's the only way that you could keep Dennis Rodman off the backboard.
Knicks have not made a substitution. They've gone with their starting five as the Rodman comes out. He has 8 rebounds. Oakley has 4, but Rodman has been a one-man gang off the glass for the Bulls.
Well, the difference in the game is the fact that Michael Jordan is not his usual self and not into it offensively. Obviously, he will eventually get there because scorers always do it. But for right now, they need his offense.
And Jordan is on the bench, 1 for 7 from the field and only 2 points. So he'll be out for the rest of the period, the time between, and then come back. Pippen, guarded by Starks, has a lot of height advantage on him. Nonetheless, short with the jumper, and Mason with the rebound.
Starks bad of defensively keeping him outside, making him try a very difficult shot.
Ewing going strong to the hoop is pushed with 1:19 to go. And the foul is on Luke Longley, his second personal, and the first substitution for the Knicks. Charles Smith, the starter last year, and now the 6th man, replaces Charles Oakley, who goes out with 2 points and 4 rebounds. Bill Wennington, and he's got a shiner. Wennington, out on the coast trip, was hit by Gary Trent of the Blazers, and that's why he has the black eye.
They want to make sure that they keep some centers in the game, and you watch Ewing. He's going to go quickly at both of them.
Tony Kukoc also checks in for the Bulls. And illegal defense, and that'll be a technical foul. The second illegal defense called against the Bulls and Phil Jackson's team.
Well, we've talked about it before, and obviously Phil Jackson is not happy about the call. But frankly, when your players are in good position like that, you don't mind it. You're going to give up perhaps a point here, but he is unhappy about it.
Phil Jackson, who needs 1 win to tie Dick Motta as the all-time Chicago Bulls winningest coach. If he wins tonight, it'll be win number 356 for Phil Jackson, who of course played his NBA days with a championship New York Knicks team. Starks now with 10 points, and the jump shot by Patrick Ewing. Under a minute to play, Ewing and Starks each with 10 points and a 12-point Knick lead, their biggest of the game. Pippen finds Kukoc, and Tony Kukoc, who is the 3rd leading scorer, averaging 10 a game for the Bulls, cuts it to 10.
What a luxury to have Tony Kukoc come off the bench, one of the superior players around the world. And when he can get a pass like that from Pippen, Pippen created that, gave him a great setup.
Harper leaves it out for Charles Smith. Big 6'10 forward, misses from perimeter. Rodman with his 9th rebound. 5 seconds differential on the clock. Kukoc for 3. He hits. Tony Kukoc has 5 points in his last 2 shots, and the Bulls come within 7.
And Bill Jackson likes that substitution. Had it in mind, knowing of course that Michael Jordan is struggling a little bit. He knows Michael will be back, but he's got Kukoc to go to, and he's delivered.
Kukoc is guarding Mason now with under 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Harper with another 3 attempt misses. So as Michael Jordan on the bench, the Chicago Bulls have narrowed the deficit, and Patrick Ewing with 10 points and 2 rebounds, and after 1 period of play here at the United Center, the Knicks lead the Bulls by a score of 30-23.
Bond is driving a new Beamer, and TBS would like to give it to you. For a chance to win BMW's new Z3 Roadster or other fabulous prizes, call 1-900-454-BOND, $1.99 per call. Or send a postcard to 13 days in 26 ways. P.O. Box 641-818, Omaha, Nebraska, 68164. Or fill out an entry in USA Today. Then watch 13 Days of 007. Winners announced beginning December 2nd. No purchase or phone call necessary. TBS gives Bond like no one else.
The revolution will be led by Jason Kidd, Jimmy Jackson, Eddie Jones, Joe Smith, and Kevin Garnett. But it will not be followed by post-game, up-close, and personal interviews, because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised, and the revolution will not fail. For as it fulfills the unfulfilled promise of Hank Gathers and Ben Wilson, the revolution is about basketball, and basketball is the truth.
After 25 years in the jungle, Alan Parrish has come home. But he didn't come home alone.
It's a stampede! Don't look back!
It's Robin Williams in the greatest movie adventure you'll ever take. Jumanji, rated PG. At theaters December 15th.
We're out of here. No, please keep your hands in the cart. We'll come back for that later. That one needs battery. You're gonna get Daddy in trouble. Excuse me? No, that one definitely has too many parts. We gotta go.
Skyline of Chicago at night, and here at the United Center, one of the outstanding early season matchups in the NBA. The New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls, and the Knicks leading 30-23 after one period. Ewing and Starks with 10 apiece lead the Knicks. Pippen with 9, the leading scorer, and Michael Jordan, who's only 1 for 7 for the field, begins the second quarter after being on the bench for the last few moments of the first. Jordan posting up against Harper. Wennington, Kukoc, Steve Kerr in there well as Rodman, and Wennington hits from the baseline.
They're obviously coming from the top of Patrick Ewing when Jordan gets it on the box, doubling, and that leaves it wide open to get Wennington that shot.
Bulls have run off 7 consecutive points. It's Harper, Ewing, Mason, Smith, and Starks for the Knicks. Ewing, he's having trouble now hitting from the outside. Rodman to Kukoc as the Bulls are trying to cut it to 3. Big shooting edge for the New York Knicks in the first quarter.
You know, however, New York's not going to continue to shoot 55%. That's rare, and the Bulls will get better percentage-wise.
Mr. Jordan alone will see to that.
By himself.
11 seconds to go in the shot clock, and a 20-second timeout called by the Bulls.
This is a good game for Bill Jackson and Chicago, because frankly they've kind of coasted a little bit. The games that I've seen, they've had kind of a coast situation. You need some adversity, you need some tough games to find out how to redevelop your game, go back to some things offensively that maybe you weren't using in previous games. And I think right now that's they're talking about how Jordan is being doubled. They need to get him off offensively, and I think that's what they're talking about.
Pippen with 9 and Jordan with 2. Remember, the Bulls 6-1 on their road trip. Bill Jackson said, I hope we're 5-2, so they exceeded his expectations on that road trip. This is their first home game in 19 days. Michael Jordan hits his first outside shot of the game, and now he starts to cook perhaps, and the lead down to 3. Jordan is guarding Harper. Kerr is defending against Starks. Goes baseline against Rodman, so someone missed a switch there.
Well, not necessarily. Kerr just simply got beat off the baseline, and Rodman was wrestling to try to contain his man defensively. Mason on the board and was caught topside and left it wide open. He couldn't do anything about it.
10 on the shot clock. Kerr was looking in, and there's a foul under the basket on Charles Smith, fouling Rodman.
Kerr gets caught. John loves to go baseline, uses that screen. Of course, Rodman tries to reverse get around, just couldn't get there.
Kerr goes to Bill Wennington. 2 former Big East players guarding each other, Ewing from Georgetown and Wennington from St. John. Jordan with a turnaround. Forces up a wild shot, and Smith gets it.
Knicks guards are making Jordan work very, very hard. He's doing a lot of outside jump shooting, fadeaway. He's got to be sharp to do that because you're hanging in the air for a long time in order to make that shot.
2 for 9 for Michael Jordan, but the Bulls trail by 5. Harper going to the basket. It counts and a foul. Derek Harper, at 34, the oldest starting guard in the NBA and getting more opportunities, as you pointed out, to score, now has 8.
Harper didn't even get a screen that time. That is a tough shot coming in there with your left hand to get in the lane like that.
Jordan with the personal, his first. Harper, an 80% free throw shooter, one of the best. And the Knicks lead now 35-27.
Dennis Rodman, for a guy who, supposedly wasn't going to play, has yet to come out of the game because I think Phil Jackson knows they need his rebounding and his toughness against this particular club.
Starks does a good job at keeping with Kerr. An effective outside shot. Kukoc over Smith. Smith got a piece of it. Ill-advised shot by Kukoc, and here the Knicks come back down. Wennington got a piece of that one, and traveling is called, and credit Bill Wennington for forcing the turnover.
Yeah, the other end. Tony Kukoc, he was concerned about a foul on that play, but he was moving to his right to shoot left-handed. That's a tough shot. But he's saying to the officials, still, I got hit on the arm. That's the reason I missed that shot. But so many players do that.
8-point lead for New York. Kukoc working against Charles Smith. Jordan beats Harper off the dribble and can't lay it in. Loose ball, and it's last touch by the Bulls. It'll be Knicks' ball.
As we watch this game, there's a lot of mini skirmishes going on out there, which really is intriguing. There's a lot of battles. This game could get very physical as we go down the stretch. I think truly both coaches love being in this game because it's a real test of both of their clubs.
And a great barometer, you're right, because down the line, these two teams very likely will face each other in the playoffs.
Not very likely. They should at some point.
Mason working against Jordan. And waiting out there for the three is Harper. And Jordan gets the rebound. Harper and Starks each with two from downtown. Kerr finds Kukoc. Working against Smith and a foul. Tony Kukoc very tough in the open court, and the New York Knicks foul will send Kukoc to the line.
Very smart player, very aggressive there. He caught the ball, faced, didn't have anything going, moved into the lane, got fouled, got pushed actually with two hands.
And it is a non-shooting foul, so the Bulls will inbound it. Kerr looking for Jordan, posting up against Derek Harper.
No double team, no double team.
Wennington is open, and Wennington hits another one from outside, so he's hit two when he's been open after the double.
Exactly, but they're having to adjust because normally Jordan is used to being double teamed. They're staying home on him and changing up, and it doesn't create that open shot for him all the time.
Harper, crossover dribble, nearly lost it, and in fact traveled. So on the Knick turnover, the Bulls have the ball again.
Used to be allowed to do this, but not anymore. Oh, one bump. Oh, I caught it. Oh, almost got away with it.
Winding down to 8 minutes remaining in the first half. 35-29 in favor of the New York Knicks. They've led most of the way. Starks knocks the ball away from Kerr. Kerr looking for the foul. None coming. And that's the Knicks' physical way. And I know that's why you like John Starks so much.
I really do. Very compatible with it. He mugged him. He absolutely mugged Kerr on that play and got away with it.
Kukoc, and no basket. There's a foul.
This game is heating up. Watch this. Starts to beat him over the screen. Watch John. Bumps him. Comes from behind. Up and under. Kirk gets a little acting job, but not good enough. Easy basket.
Gary Grant has checked in for the New York Knicks, who was signed as a free agent a week after the season started. Veteran who played with the Clippers. Good defensive player. Starks on Jordan. Wennington open, and Bill Wennington now has exceeded his season's average. He's hit 3 for 3 from the perimeter.
Crucial that their centers make those kind of shots, those little 8-10 footers, because they're going to get a lot of them for the Chicago Bulls.
6-point lead for the Knicks, and a steal by Kukoc. Ewing trying to get it underneath, but Kukoc anticipated and draws the foul as he drives to the hoop.
And he's lucky he drew a foul because he did not make a real smart play. He forced the action. He had Kerr on his right side, wide open.
Anthony Mason with his second personal foul.
Here's Kukoc with the steal. Watch here, he comes down the middle of the floor. Not sure we can pick up over, but on his right shoulder, Kerr was wide open. He does get to the line. If he makes both, then we're okay if you're a Bull fan.
Want to remind you, next Wednesday we'll be right back here, Chuck, at the United Center. The Bulls against the Magic. Magic, one of the two teams who have defeated the Chicago Bulls this season, will be with you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on TBS.
That'll be an interesting matchup because Hardaway played so great against Jordan. He's going to have to do it again come next Wednesday.
It's a 4-point Knick lead, 37-33, and now 6 points as Ewing gets his first basket of the second quarter. He's got 12. 39-33, New York. Kukoc Working against Charles Smith. Inside move. Rodman with the offensive rebound. Rodman tips it again. Into the hands of Charles Smith.
But a lack of game action doesn't allow Rodman to put that ball. He's had 3 of those now, 2 of which he definitely should have made.
Grant looking low post to Ewing, and over the top, reaching in is Bill Wennington with his first foul. And a timeout here at the United Center with 6.5 to play in the first half.
15 seconds.
Hornets Magic. Friday at 8 on TNT.
We're not lost.
You know, sometimes being known as a parts expert can be mighty big shoes to fill. Of course, this time of year, I got some mighty big stockings to fill, too.
Come fill your stockings at Napa's Holiday Gift Sale, where you'll find great items at low prices. Like this special edition Napa toy truck, just $18.99, and an Evercraft 25-piece tool kit, only $15.99. While you're here, apply for the Napa card, the new convenient way to pay at Napa.
America running.
That's too long to suffer with heartburn.
Mylanta users discuss Tagamet HB.
You want relief fast? Mylanta works faster.
That's true. I can't wait for Tagamet HB to work. Mylanta is faster.
It is. Besides, my doctor said Mylanta.
Simple.
Yeah?
Hyperkeratosis? Symptom: persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution: Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
You want to see why Patrick Ewing is one of the all-time great centers. Watch Rodman, comes late in the double team. He splits the double team. Watch right there. Hold it. Look right here. He's on his left foot. Looks like he's going to fall down. But here is a great agile center with superior touch.
Patrick Ewing's career record in this season, getting fewer shots, but Don Nelson told us before the game that Ewing says the main thing is wins. I know my shots will come, and Ewing, of course, who's had those sore knees that come to haunt him late in the season, doesn't mind playing a little less time, and unquestionably, Chuck, he's the best center that Don Nelson has ever coached.
Yeah, Don Nelson, throughout his career, has complained about the fact that he hasn't had a center. Now he's got one.
Mason to Gary Grant. Go low now to Smith. Loses his footing and lost the ball. Wennington has played a lot of minutes in this second quarter to advantage for the Bulls. Longley has gone to the bench, so Wennington looks like the key center for Phil Jackson. Kerr for 3. That's his trademark, but misses. And Mason clears for New York. 5 rebounds for Anthony Mason. Mason working against Rodman. Over Rodman. And Dennis gets the board. 11 rebounds for Dennis Rodman, who had averaged nearly 11 in the 3 games he had played before he went out with injury. Wennington setting a screen outside. Kukoc. Ewing follows him outside. Low to Jordan against Starks. Fall away by Michael. Rodman tries to keep it alive, but he knocks it out of bounds. Knicks ball.
Watch Michael Jordan on the previous play. He's getting the ball. We'll take a look. He's getting the ball in the low post. Look how far he fades away. Your balance has to be almost perfect in order to make that shot. They are not doubling here. They're not doubling him, and Starks is playing him very, very tough, making him fade away more than he would like to get the perfect angle to make the shot.
And Dennis Rodman goes to the bench. For the first time, he has 12 rebounds, and Dickie Simpkins, the second-year power forward out of Providence, who played and started when Rodman was out, replaces him. Here's Gary Grant, and what a savior he has been for Don Nelson.
Yeah, he's a great pickup. He's a veteran guy, and Don likes veteran players. He's not the kind of guy that wants rookies playing with a team like this.
Simpkins on the lay-in from Kukoc. 41-35, New York.
Mason has not been out of this basketball game. It doesn't look like he's probably going to play about 46, 47 minutes tonight.
Played 46 and had 10 rebounds against Dallas last night. Grant hits another one. That's a 2-point basket for Gary Grant, who played with 7 different coaches in 7 years with the Clippers. Pippen on the point, fires a 2, and no one underneath wearing white jerseys, and an easy rebound for Oakley. He's got 5.
Here's going to be the problem for the Bulls, getting second shots without Rodman being in the basketball game.
Jordan is guarding Grant. Jordan is 5th in the NBA in steals. Smith doubles with Wennington coming over, but a foul called against Kukoc. And that'll be the first on Tony.
Tony Kukoc on a one-on-one situation. On a one-on-one situation on Charles Smith. Charles Smith's going to back him down. This is one of the knocks on Kukoc, that he can't control him. Wennington comes in, tries to help, comes late. When they get to the paint, they're coming.
And Smith goes in, and Wennington is going to be charged with a foul. And that'll be the 14th foul against the Bulls and the second against Bill Wennington. And Charles Smith, a 69% free throw shooter, will go to the strike.
One of the set rules in the league is when a guy starts backing down, you want to go double team. When he gets to the paint, you come. But if you come late, it allows Smith to get there and get fouled.
This is the first one. Want to remind you that 13 Days of 007 continues with Sean Connery as the legendary James Bond in You Only Live Twice. That's coming up next on TBS. Steve Kerr back into the game, and Bill Wennington goes out with 2 fouls. Story for the Bulls, however, Michael Jordan only 2 for 11 thus far from the field and 4 points. Smith connects on 1 out of 2 in his first point of the game.
As we just see Charles Smith there, I think he's one of the guys that's kind of unsure of his role with the Knicks. Not scoring as much as he did. Plays it, he's just as a starter last year. He's probably more of a starter.
Maybe you can say the same for Kukoc, who's been not pleased with coming off the bench for the Bulls. Jordan working against Starks. Starks playing him tough, however. Pippen with 1 on the shot clock. And the Bulls could not get a good shot off. The Knicks with terrific defense in that sequence.
Trademark of where they have been under Pat Riley, and still there under Nelson, giving up 95 a game. Still a great defensive club.
Starks hits the turnaround. John Starks now with 16 points is the high scorer on perfect 6 for 6 shooting, including a pair from downtown. And Phil Jackson calls a timeout. It is an 11-point Knick lead.
TBS NBA Wednesday is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives.
We're out of here. No, please keep your hands in the cart. We'll come back for that later. That one needs battery. You're going to get Daddy in trouble. Excuse me? No, that one definitely has too many parts. We got to go.
In this day and age, the old camcorder with its tunnel vision is, shall we say, history. Now look at the world with a sharp view cam. The big bright color view screen frees you to see all the action, and the pivoting lens gets shots the old camcorders can't. There's even instant replay with color and sound. So it's out with the old cam, in with Sharp View Cam. Now get up to a $200 rebate when you buy a Sharp View Cam.
I didn't grow up around here. My old neighborhood seemed like a million miles away. And when I got here, I wasn't greeted with open arms. So I did what I had to do. I fought back by walking away. In front of everybody, I walked away. Peace.
You want to see great team defense. First of all, John Starks advancing his hand up, no shot. Jordan beats him slightly. Hold it right there. But look here. He recovers. Starks recovers the point where Jordan doesn't feel he can get the ball off. He kicks it off to Pippen. Move it. Pippen's got the ball. Now, he's going to try to get in the seam. But watch what John Starks did. Hold it right there. John Starks came down, stopped Pippen from getting in, forced him into a very tough shot.
And Don Nelson, who told us before the game, I really don't know what I have, what kind of team I have, but I know that defensively we're strong, and offensively more people are getting opportunities. This team has a lot more freedom, a lot more relaxed than they've been. That's not to criticize Pat Riley, because all you have to do is look at what the Miami Heat's doing so far this year.
Well, they're both great coaches. They've both been Coach of the Year a number of times. Everyone knows how good they are. Everybody has a little bit different style.
Kukoc working in against Smith. Tony Kukoc now with 9 points off the bench. The Bulls have Pippen and Kukoc with 9. Starks with 16 and Ewing with 12, the top scorers for the Knicks.
When Jordan is having a great night, then Phil Jackson's got to find other ways to score and get to other people, and that's what he's doing.
Mason posting up against Pippen. That's a tough man to deal against, Scottie Pippen. Mason goes in and scores. Pretty good move by Anthony Mason.
Outstanding move against Pippen, one of the great defensive players in the league. To get baseline, I'm surprised that Pippen, although Pippen physically, I don't think can handle it.
Pippen hits a 3. That's his second of the game, and he's got 12, and the release by Mason, and he gets 2 in the back.
One of the old-time Boston Celtic plays, the leak out, and we saw Mason take advantage of it and get the easiest 2 we've seen all night.
Mason has 6 points. Michael Jordan right now has not done much offensively. He is 2 for 11 from the field and only 4 points. Knicks coming back down, leading by 10. They were up by 12. Bulls cut it to 3, and now the Knicks have opened it up again to an 11, now a 10-point advantage. And a legal defense called against the Knicks, the first one against New York.
Phil Jackson is saying to himself, you know, I'm unhappy about what's happening in this game, but his players will start listening to him a little bit more.
And that is on the Bulls. Excuse me, that's the 3rd illegal defense against Chicago. So for the 2nd time in the game, a technical at Oakley is shooting it here. Charles Oakley, who comes in 5th in the NBA in free throw shooting, adds to the lead at 51-40. Coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Vince Cellini and Dick Versace are joined by special guest Avery Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. That's coming up on the Reebok halftime report. Kerr's on Grant. Smith made a move, and he beat Dickie Simpkins to the basket. Charles Smith gives the Knicks their biggest lead of the game, 53-40. And another turnover by the Bulls, and they are not on track by any means so far.
No, they're not playing well tonight. And Charles Smith, a premier postal player, when he was with the Clippers, he was very difficult to defend. I remember Don Casey used to work with him, an assistant with the Celtics, a lot on the low post, and he is a tough low. Watch him spread out. Watch him spread out.
10 on the shot clock. Mason has it knocked away by Pippen. Mason recovers. Smith for a 3. That's not his best shot. Oakley saves it to Harper. Grant finds Oakley inside. No foul, although there was contact, and Charles Oakley gets the basket. He has 5 points and 6 rebounds, and the crowd thought there should have been a charge.
Well, there may have been. Charles Oakley didn't mind it. He wanted that contact. He thought he might get, get an offensive foul, but he was willing to take the chance.
Knicks have opened up a 15-point lead. Pippen misses the one-hander. Simpkins keeps it alive. And in the hands of Mason, and the Knicks have totally outplayed the Chicago Bulls to this point, and we have just about 30 seconds to go in the half. It's been all New York tonight in the first confrontation of the year between these two Eastern Conference powers. 6 on the shot clock. And the feed inside. Oakley missed, and a loose ball foul called against the Bulls, upsetting Michael Jordan. And it's on Kukoc, his second.
Michael was trying to officiate. He was signaling the other way, but the official did not see it that way.
The Bulls are over the limit, and Oakley will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. Monty Williams getting set to come in for the final defensive sequence of his half. Monty Williams, second year forward out of Notre Dame replaces Anthony Mason.
Oakley backing down. And if Kukoc fouled him, he actually just kind of reached in with his hands because Oakley had backed him all the way under the hoop. It's rare you're going to see the Chicago Bulls kind of lose their poise, which they've lost a little bit. Jordan isn't scoring, so they don't know quite where to go.
And maybe more than a little bit, Chuck. The Knicks have run off 8 straight points, and this could be the final possession of the first half, which has stunned the crowd. Knicks led by 7 at the quarter. They're up 16. Remember, the Bulls undefeated here at the United Center at 6-0. That could be in jeopardy. Kukoc for 3, and they got through. It went high and went in as time is run out. Tony Kukoc with his second from downtown, but the Bulls trail. Jordan with only 4 points on 2 for 11 shooting. Here's that shot by Kukoc, Chuck.
He squares up, takes all. I thought it was going to be short, but he got a very friendly bounce. A thing that they complained about last year.
Nonetheless, it has been a Knick half. The Knicks lead the Bulls 56-43 at halftime.
You got a wet spot? Right here.
You missed the spot.
Thank you.
Canon. Now you can. Print this. Print that. Make a set. Make 1,000. Print them in color. Fax this now. Fax this later. File this. Scan that. As your document processing needs grow more complex, the answer is simple. Canon has the systems that are the solution. Canon. Now you can.
This holiday season, don't let a fortune pass you by. The Discover Card Big Payback is back, awarding 8 winners $250,000 each. Just shop with your Discover card, and you're automatically entered in our holiday sweepstakes. The more you do, the more chances you have to win. Who would want to miss that? It pays to Discover, the card with the big payback. Use it where you see the Nova sign. Don't forget to save big this holiday with your Big Payback Value Book.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok.
And we are back at the TBS studios. Your halftime score, the Knicks by 13 over the Bulls, 56-43. Michael Jordan with 4 points after the first 2 quarters. And we are back at the TBS studios now. On air, I'm Vince Cellini, joined by Dick Versace, my partner, but we are abandoning the 2-man game for now because we have a real-life point guard with us in studio. Yeah, guys, putting together another solid season for the San Antonio Spurs. He's second in the league in assists, 13 assists and 13 points in a win last night over the Lakers. He's in town in Atlanta because his Spurs are meeting the Hawks on Thursday. He is Avery Johnson. AJ, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Vince.
All right, before we talk about Spurs present, let's talk about a Spur past. And Dennis Rodman, 11 first-half rebounds now for the Bulls. As a former teammate, what does this guy bring first and foremost to a team?
Well, naturally, he brings the rebounding. He brings the toughness to the table. And when Dennis is focused for 48 minutes, he's one of the top players in the game, but it's the part when he's not focused. So right now, he's trying to get himself back together, coming off the injury. He's not rotating as fast on defense, but once he gets in condition, I think he's going to really help the Bulls.
And the Chicago Bull, Michael Jordan, now guarding guys like Avery Johnson and other 6-footers at the point. Dick, what about that?
Well, it's a problem. I mean, it's a problem for them guarding him, but it's also a problem for Michael Jordan guarding them. Now, when he has to go against guys like Avery Johnson, when he has to go against Stoudemire and Strickland and people like that, you can see the results. The results are A.J. and company, all under 6'3", really give him fits. Nice blow by A.J. Love it. Little freeze move. Okay, we'll talk about that and put it in a time capsule. There's another time capsule move, just pure speed by John Stockton. Now watch this. That's a real deer in headlights. Michael Jordan frozen by Rod Strickland. And watch the rookie, David Stoudemire, back him down, freeze him, and lace up the Jays. You know, A.J., when you played against them, what was the thing that was most successful for you?
Well, Jordan in the past just mainly had to chase two guards coming off baseline screens. Now he has to play a little bit more transition defense, play 94 feet more. You try to get him going back on his heels, and if you can get him going back on his heels, you just try to use your quickness, and I take pride in my crossover, so if it can work on him, it can work on anybody.
Well, we'll see what happens in the rematch, because the Spurs and the Bulls will tangle Friday in Chicago, and then you have the Knicks on Sunday, A.J., so rest up. Maybe we're keeping you up too late tonight. We love having you in studio. More with Avery Johnson on the Reebok Halftime Report. We'll be talking about the Admiral and that new contract that he signed, and also more Dennis Rodman. Are the Spurs better off now that Dennis is with the Bulls? Our halftime score, it's the Knicks by 13 over the Bulls. We'll be right back.
That's too long to suffer with heartburn.
Mylanta users discuss Tagamet HB.
You want relief fast? Mylanta works faster.
That's true. I can't wait for Tagamet HB to work. Mylanta is faster.
It is.
Besides, my doctor said Mylanta.
Simple.
Yeah?
Hyperkeratosis? Symptom: persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution: Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
Yo, you think you got a game? Mine's a rim-rockin', spin-dribbling, rain-making, turn-styling. Try me, tip-in, rebounding, fly-swatting, outta here. 180, 360, tomahawk-wielding, alley-ooping, crossover, behind-the-back passing, mid-air dishing, hang, and throwing it down. You know what kind of game. You want some of that? Bring your best game. NBA Live 96, the ultimate judge on any of these home arenas. If it's in the game, EA Sports, it's in the game.
Hey, Santa, our budget's real tight.
No problem. Just think of Craftsman. Just look at all these great gift ideas from Sears. At great prices, too. It's the gift guaranteed to last forever. Craftsman for Christmas. Only at Sears and Sears hardware stores.
Maybe you helped and didn't know it, or were part of it and just forgot. If you joined the American Express charge against hunger over the last 2 years, you made a difference. But the fight isn't over. Every time you use your American Express card, we'll give to Share Our Strength, a leading anti-hunger group. Because now through December 31st, the charge against hunger is on again.
Natural ability only takes you so far. The right equipment counts for a lot. That's why I like Pert Plus. It gets the job done right. Cleans and conditions in one step. No fuss. Eventually, we all cross the finish. Winners just find a better way to get there.
Welcome back to the Reebok Halftime Report, and cushy leather chairs reserved only for special guests. And we have one in studio from the San Antonio Spurs, point guard Avery Johnson. A.J., your teammate David Robinson signing that long-term lifetime contract extension now, which maybe you deserve a cut of, by the way. He's averaging 25 points, about 11.5 rebounds a game. Off to a great start, but maybe inspired a little bit by what happened in the Western Conference Finals a year ago, when Akeem averaged over 35 points against the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. Do you think that inspired him?
Well, Dave didn't have the type of individual performance that he wanted to have last year in the Western Conference Finals, playing against such a great player. But I think he took it into the summer. He worked a lot more on his game this year. He has a couple of more different moves that we're going to use against Houston in the Western Conference Finals. So I think he'll be a lot better prepared next year at least.
So you already got yourself automatically in the Western Conference Finals again? Well, that's a lot of pressure. But let's get right down to it. You were there last year in the Western Conference Finals, but you had Dennis Rodman and his toughness and all that he brings to the table. He's not there anymore.
Well, now we have three guys that can kind of do what Dennis did. You know, Dennis got 18 rebounds a game. We have Cadillac, Carl Herrera, and JR. You know, JR's been the middle ground of his career. So now it's a chance for him to really prove what he can do. But I just think once we get to that situation again, June 3rd, hopefully we'll have more confidence, better chemistry, and we're going to be a lot more versatile this year.
But, you know, that you might not miss him, but you might miss him.
Well, that's the big question.
That's right.
We'll find out. We'll have more with Avery Johnson in just a moment on the Reebok Halftime Report. Our halftime score from Chicago, 56-43. The Knicks out in front. Michael Jordan having a 4-point first half. AJ distributes in a moment.
Life is fun. You've got the pictures to prove it. With the Pentax IQ Zoom 140.
In Denton, Texas, a lot of folks who work on their cars go to AutoZone because they know they're going to find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and good people like Tom Robinson. You see, Tom's the kind of guy who really likes to help folks out. And since he's been around cars most all his life, he knows his parts, too. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Tom, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Let's fly through some scores now for you. Third quarter, looks like Philadelphia is on its way to breaking that 11-game losing streak. Atlanta at the Bullets this evening. And the Hawks trailing Washington. They have won 10 in a row overall against Washington. Boston and Miami, the Heat and the Celts. This is the rematch of Fight Night a couple of nights ago. Zoe had 13 points at the half. Cleveland and Charlotte, 73-56 now. The Hornets in charge there. The Hornets have won 3 straight over the Cavs, Nets, and the T-Wolves at the break, 50-48. Sean Bradley has played 4 points and 2 rebounds in that game. Lakers and the Rockets. This is just going out of the second quarter now, and the Rockets with a 5-point advantage. And later tonight, Orlando at Golden State. 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time start. All right, Avery, before we let you go, tell us about this big stretch coming up. At Atlanta Thursday night, then Chicago Friday, Knicks on Sunday.
Well, it's going to be a good test for us. Even though we had a good record in the month of November, the performances wasn't like Coach Hill wanted. The last 2 games against Phoenix and the Lakers, we've had good performances, which has led to big victories. So this is a good stretch for us. Atlanta's tough. You know about Chicago, and Don Nelson is giving Knicks a little bit more offensive freedom. So it's going to be a tough stretch, but every time we've had a tough stretch, we've rose to the occasion.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by tonight.
Let me just get this in there. When you play Dennis on Friday,
all right,
what are you going to be feeling?
Well, I'm going to be feeling that I wish he could have stayed with us in a way, but it was best for both people and both parties to part company. The Spurs wasn't going to give him what he wanted. He wasn't going to be with us, sold out, heart and soul, so it was best for everybody to part ways.
I think you're going to be thinking, what's with the green hair? Overall. AJ, thanks for the big assist tonight in the TBS studios.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Best of luck the rest of the way. That's it for the Reebok Halftime Report. Dick, Chuck, Sager, be back with the second half. You see the score, the Knicks all over the Bulls at the break. Second half coming up.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok.
Everybody was sandbagging, but it was no use.
The floodwaters bring more than destruction. They bring the unexpected.
We lost everything. The volunteers go home and it's just you, throwing away your memories.
Floods can strike anywhere, anytime.
I never thought it could happen to us.
The National Flood Insurance Program can help. We can't replace your memories, but we can help you build new ones. For facts on flood insurance, call your insurance company, agent, or this number.
It takes 10 times longer to make than some California champagnes. Maybe that's why some folks like it 10 times better. Cordon Negro Brut by Freshenet. There's a party in every bottle.
When developing the Seiko Kinetic watch, we applied for 50 patents. How could we fit them all inside? We took out the battery. Seiko Kinetic, the amazing quartz watch that never needs a battery.
What are the odds of the sharper image, Continental Airlines Grand Destinations, Royal Caribbean Cruises, and FTD all having a sale at exactly the same time. Actually, they're quite good. Presenting master values from MasterCard. Immediate savings of 10 to 40% at places all over right now. Exclusively for people who use MasterCard.
It's the Knicks 56 and the Bulls 43 at intermission. We talked to Don Nelson before the game. We told you Michael Jordan averages 39 points on 3 days rest. You've held him to 4 so far. What's your secret?
Well, it must be great coaching, huh? No, he's just missed shots. You know, we really haven't done anything. Harper's done a good job on him, but, you know, nobody does a good job on Michael. I think, actually, the time off probably threw his shot off a little bit.
What about the second half? Do you try to maintain the lead or you try to build on it?
We're just going to play the same way. Whatever happens, happens. We have a game plan. Seems to be successful. We'll try to stay with it.
Okay, thanks for being with us.
Okay.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And, Chuck, you said at the very top of this telecast that what the Knicks have to do to win the game, one of the things is to keep Michael Jordan off the free throw line. He has not gone to the line so far tonight. He has scored, as we said, only 4 points. But what do the Bulls need to do to get back into this game?
Before I talk about, first of all, they need to have some patience because they know they can score. They know Michael Jordan is going to have better second half. However, Michael isn't being aggressive in going to the basket. And so, consequently, I think he's got to do that when he, in fact, is not able to score. But I think they're a competent team, but the New York Knicks have done some defensive job.
You know, John Starks and Michael Jordan have had some great confrontations over the year, and Jordan has had the better of it. So far tonight, Starks does with 16 points for the New York Knicks. Let's take a look at the stats tonight and the shooting percentage. Big edge, 20-point edge for the New York Knicks. The Bulls fired at 39%, and the starting guards, the Knicks have outscored the Bulls 25-8.
Well, here's Starks, 6 for 6, 2 for 2, 3-point. You know, he's having one of those rare games, but I think he's combative. He gets it up for Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, you know sooner or later he's going to start to fill it up, though.
A guy with great pride, and you know that he's sitting there simmering, burning inside. He said, I'm coming back. I'm going to do something this afternoon. He'll make something happen.
Patrick Ewing has 12 points, and Derek Harper 9 for the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen and Kukoc each with 12, and then a drop down to Bill Wennington with 6. So we're set to go. It'll be Bulls ball, and Scottie Pippen. They were mopping up the...
Yeah, he has decided he is not ready to start the second half.
He is the real sixth man for this Chicago Bulls team. The Bulls hope this is not a mop-up situation, Charles, at 56-43. Underway, Pippen, along with Ron Harper, Luke Longley, Dennis Rodman, and, of course, Michael Jordan for the Bulls. Ewing, Starks, Harper, Oakley. And Anthony Mason. Pippen banks it in. He has 14.
They end up getting a pretty good shot, and Pippen makes a great shot. But that's a wrinkle in their offense that they haven't used yet tonight. I think they went back to the drawing board halftime and said, we've got to put in something where we can get a little more ball movement and get some different people in different positions.
Remember Dennis Rodman, after missing 12 games with a calf injury, was activated before the game and then installed as a late starter. Here is Harper. Oakley fires and misses from the perimeter. Ewing can't save it, and it's going to be Bulls possession.
And Patrick Ewing says, he helped me. It's the reason I didn't get that loose ball.
Rodman, by the way, played 19 minutes in the first half. He scored 1 point and had 12 rebounds. Illegal defense ball against the New York Knicks. That's their first. Don Nelson, who coached for the Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State, before coming over, and of course the much publicized confrontation with Chris Webber at Golden State, which forced Nelson's ouster, but he has found a home and has done a good job. Jordan with a fall away, still cold. Longley keeps it alive out to Pippen. Jordan now 2 for 12 from the field.
Here's a wrinkle. They're going to hit Rodman, go to the outside. Rodman's going to go down and screen for Jordan. They're going to bring Jordan into the post on the strong side rather than continually get him to the weak side. That time they've got the zone call, but he is in a position to get a little different look.
Rodman inside, blocked by Ewing. Rodman still has it. Rodman fires it up and hits a two-point shot and cheers for the first field goal for Dennis Rodman.
From an unlikely source, they get a field goal. He wasn't sure he wanted to shoot it, but he was so wide open. The first shot he's taken in a long, long time in a real game.
By the way, that last foul on the Knicks was against Starks, who has it. Measuring the three, ducks in under Simpkins. Ewing fires, and he's off the mark. Mason keeps it alive with an offensive rebound. Oakley, from the corner, hits a two-point shot, and Charles Oakley now with 8 points. Knicks again by 11, their biggest lead, 16. Jordan working against Harper on the post-up. And Pippen stuffs it through. Scottie Pippen with his second basket here in the second half, but Jordan remains ice cold.
Scottie Pippen hung on the rim a little bit longer, but there was someone underneath it which you couldn't see on the screen, which is important. Otherwise, it's a technical foul.
10 on the shot clock, and Pippen doubling now with Mason, leaving Oakley open at the top. Long rebound, Ron Harper clears it for Chicago. Jordan working his way in the lane, misses the layup. He's now 2 for 13. Dreadfully cold is Michael Jordan, and here is Starks for 3. And Pippen comes down with it.
Starks taking that shot. He could have moved in 6 or 8 feet and had a much better percentage shot, but he feels good about that 3. He always has had a tendency to want to take that 3.
That was his first miss of the game. Longley finds Pippen, ducks in over Mason, and banks it in. Scottie Pippen has been the go-to guy for the Bulls with Jordan cold here in the third quarter, and it's 58-51, and the Knicks want a timeout. Jordan is not happy with things on the floor as he talks to the official, but Scottie Pippen, 3 for 3 here in the third quarter.
Pippen gets Mason up in the air, repositions himself, really squares up, and uses the glass. I love guys that can find a glass like that.
TBS NBA Wednesday is brought to you by Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich and by the GMC Sierra.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
Sir, they're in the shape of little portals. And when you walk, they bark.
Shopping for the holidays?
We have 2 gigabytes, 16 megs of RAM.
We have a suggestion to help you through it.
It's a virtual reality now. Look out, we're being invaded by spacemen.
Come to Wendy's for a delicious Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich. It's a whole breast filet, Monterey Jack, and a dollop of creamy ranch dressing blended with bacon.
That way, everyone gets something they love for the holidays.
Come to Wendy's for a Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich today.
The people of Care know that there are thousands of families around the world who face starvation, who need clean water to avoid fatal disease, and who need the tools to learn to help themselves. But as the NBA's Dikembe Mutombo has seen in his homeland of Africa, a little care can make a world of difference.
Show that you care.
During the timeout, here's Michael Jordan talking very aggressively to Luke Longley. Luke Longley saying, well, I'm not in the way. I'm in the right place. But now he's giving Jordan a little welcome back, a little pat saying, come on, you're all right.
Smile missing from Michael's face. Would be from you, too. 2 for 13 from the field. Under 10 on the shot clock. Harper driving down the lane. Luke Longley seconds on the shot clock. Starts from the corner, misses, and that's the Bulls' best half-court defensive sequence tonight.
You're right, and we talked about the shooting percentage at half. It will come back, and basically New York is not a club that scores more than 100 points against a good defensive club.
Pippen misses the jumper. Rebound, Ewing. Harper brings it up. Harper has scored 9 points in the first half, averaging nearly 16 on the year. Starks double team Ewing, and the Bulls double teaming all over the floor, and Harper throws up an air ball, and Mason misses. The Knicks are 1 for 7 from the field here in the third quarter and leading by 7. And the second foul against Ron Harper. Now we're taking a look at the GMC scoreboard. Bringing up to date. Miami leading Boston. The Celtics beat the Heat in double overtime the other night in a 121-120 game. New Jersey and Minnesota going at it, and second quarter action as the Rockets lead the Lakers by 5. And for all the scores and highlights, tune into CNN Sports Tonight with Fred Hickman and Nick Charles at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 out of 2 at the line for Anthony Mason. 59-51 New York. Harper has been guarding Jordan effectively all night. Jordan has a screen from Luke Longley. Still can't connect. Michael Jordan trying every which way to get a basket. Now 2 for 14.
And now the Bulls, I don't know, not by design, but much more aggressive defensively. At some point, they're going to have to move the defense down court to try to make something happen.
Starks cross court to Harper. Touch pass in to Ewing with 5 on the shot clock. Wild pass. It looked like a pass from Ewing, and here's Harper, but Jordan threw it behind him, and the Knicks get it back, and a foul out of frustration called against Michael Jordan, and that'll be his second.
You know what, if I'm Bill Jackson, I say I'm happy because we have become more aggressive. They are not giving the Knicks any kind of a decent shot. They're not going to. They know they're in jeopardy here right now, and they're going to start fighting on the defensive end because obviously they can't do it offensively.
This is playoff intensity defense we're seeing from the Bulls.
Absolutely.
Harper working against Jordan, and Pippen getting ready to double the ball. Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. An intense, grueling game between the Bulls and the Knicks. Ewing over Longley hits the fall away. He's got 14.
That kind of stopped the bleeding in terms of misses, and they needed to go to the go-to guy, a guy who could shoot the basketball. Make big. Longley beats him again.
Longley is fouled as he goes to the baseline, and will go to the line to shoot 2 as the Knicks lead is 10. Foul is on Oakley, his second.
Longley getting to the baseline. I'm telling you, when Oakley is in the game,
no easy fouls.
You get nothing. You are going to pay if you want to go to the basket. And that has made the Knicks one of the most feared teams in the league defensively. Teams don't like to play them because they know they've got to face this kind of physical play.
Oakley, a former member of the Chicago Bulls for many years, traded for Bill Cartwright, who helped the Bulls win a couple of titles. Longley makes both free throws, and the lead for the Knicks 61-53.
A little bit of pressure down court, which they do after free throws. It's a little 2-2-1 press. Now the Knicks handle it well. They've got it in good position. They put Harper in the middle.
Harper misses the layup. Longley defending, but Longley knocks it out of bounds. Claims it was last touched by the Knicks, but will get no respect here.
And the Knicks very well prepared because they had a guard to come to the middle, a guy who could catch the ball, take it to the basket. He didn't score on Longley, but he's in position to get a decent shot for one of his teammates.
Ewing working against the double team. The basket counts and a foul. Patrick Ewing now with 16 points, playing big throughout, and will go to the line to try to give the Knicks an 11-point lead.
How about this one-on-one move against Longley, and he gets in. That's a patented move, left to right, into the lane. Longley even gets a good hard slap at the ball, gets a piece of it. Ewing's so strong, gets it up, but misses the free throw.
So he has to be content with the basket. And here comes Ron Harper, lost the ball. Errant pass. Bulls getting sloppy on the offensive end.
Twice now Harper's missed ball on passes.
Oakley lays it in and another foul. So the New York Knicks now going inside against the Chicago Bulls, who started out with the third quarter with terrific defense. Oakley now has 10 points. And the Chicago foul.
They've got to seal off Ewing, and he just kicks it Oakley. Oakley's going to wade in there and does what he does so well.
Foul is on Dennis Rodman, his second. There is Oakley, and the Knicks have stolen the thunder again from the Bulls.
You're watching TBS. We give bombs like no one else.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
If it fits a little better. If it holds up a little longer. If it feels a little more comfortable. Don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
The Knicks lead the Bulls 65-53 in what has been a stunner because the Bulls have not been in the game at all in this contest. Michael Jordan, 2 for 14 from the field and 4 points, but for John Starks, he's having a big game tonight with 16 points and 6 for 8 shooting. And you know what's amazing? Not only is Jordan not going to the free throw line, neither has Scottie Pippen so far.
No, neither, because the New York Knicks are playing very solid defense. They're staying down, and they're not committing fouls. Don't give them easy points.
Bulls cut the Knicks lead to 7 at 58-51. But the Knicks have gone on a 7-2 spurt to once again open up a 12-point lead. Charles Oakley with the three-point play. And it's a 13-point New York lead.
Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing were talking, smiling at each other. Patrick Ewing happier than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's not a happy camper right now.
Neither is Phil Jackson, as the Bulls have been outplayed. Longley out on the perimeter.
Phil Jackson's begging right now to try to get a free throw for Jordan. Jordan's going to get there this time.
And it's Oakley that's going to give him the complimentary foul, and Michael Jordan will go to the stripe for the first time tonight. Chuck said at the outset the Knicks have to keep him off the line. You didn't mean at all, did you?
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. But he did get to that time. He was pretty determined, knowing he has to get there. He's been able to average the 30 points a game without getting to the basket. Tonight, that shot isn't going down because you got to give the Knicks credit defensively. Plus, Jordan is missing. He's frustrated tonight, and the time off. I think Don Nelson was right on. So much time off can take that little edge off you. It's a little bit like your golf game. You know, when you take a couple days off, your putting isn't quite as good.
How about when I take 3 hours off and the putting isn't as good? Oakley with his third foul. Michael Jordan connects from the line. Finally, 5.5 to play, and they're going to call a foul on Rodman, his third. And the penalty situation, the Bulls are over the limit.
Well, it was a legitimate call. He was aggressive in the backcourt, but you don't want to foul a guy that far back in the backcourt. Look at here. He's used his body pretty good there. You know, he hammered him. It was a give and take, and but the official said, I don't like the way he played him. I'll give you a call.
Anthony Mason with his newfound one-handed style, 77% free throw shooter, connects on the first, 8 points and 9 rebounds for Mason. Third-round draft pick from the Portland Trailblazers, played in Turkey. 21 games with the Nets and then went to the CBA and the U.S. Basketball League, so he has been all over. 1 out of 2. And the Bulls with the ball, trailing 67-55.
They're very confident of their offense. They're going to stay with it.
Jordan picked up by Ewing on the switch. Inside Pippen, out to Longley, inside out effectively.
There's an effective way for them to get good shots by putting either Jordan or Pippen in the pick and roll, come off and drawing that hard blitzing double team and throwing ahead. They could create shots.
Biggest lead for the Bulls was way early in the game at 6-4. It's been all Knicks. And their lead down is 10. It was up to 16 in the second quarter. Ewing working against Longley. Rebound, Scottie Pippen. And that's his 7th. Harper for 3. He's got it. Ron Harper. And that is the 5th three-point basket of the game for Chicago.
And as much as they struggle offensively, here they are. 4:30 to go in the quarter. Only 7 down.
Starts to Oakley. And the crowd getting back into this game with the Bulls trailing by 7. Ewing working against Scottie Pippen. Pippen does a terrific job defensively. Ewing picks up the loose ball, and he is going to go in, and a blocking foul called against the Bulls, and it's against Luke Longley, his 4th.
And Don Nelson's talking like he wanted a flagrant foul. Here he's going to go again to the official, walking up the sideline. Pippen does a great job defensively. I'm not sure what they're complaining about. Looks to me like he could have been called for an offensive
foul. Could have gone either way.
Luke Longley was out in front of the basket.
Ewing now looking for his 18th point of the game. He leads the Knicks scorers, and he makes it 18 for Patrick Ewing. He's averaging on the season 21, and the Knicks lead is 9. Foul against the Knicks as Derek Harper. Personal foul, Derek Harper. Vehement in his protest of that foul. That's his 1st and the 4th against the Knicks. And a technical foul has been called against Derek Harper to boot.
This is what the Knicks have to be careful of in this building to give this crowd a chance to get back in the game. He commits the foul, but don't lose your cool. You're in control of the game, and this helps get the Bulls back in the mood to play good basketball. They're running this play pretty consistently. You'll see Pippen hit Jordan. He'll run a shuffle cut baseline. That's where they get caught in the foul, and then he's going to come off and create something.
Michael Jordan made the free throw. He's controlling the ball right now. Pulls up and still can't hit the outside shot, but Longley gets the rebound. Harper open for a 3. And inside, a loose ball foul as Pippen and Ewing exchange shoves. And now they're going to... Let's see if they throw Rodman out of the game.
No, I don't think they're going to throw Rodman.
Technical foul.
Yeah.
2 technical fouls.
Technical foul. Double foul. As they come up to court.
And the Bulls, Dennis Rodman. Let's see where this all started. Under the Bulls basket.
Little aggression right there. Started actually with Scottie Pippen. He goes out, he bumps into Rodman, then he pushes Rodman. Rodman just turns around, and they both get called for a technical.
Oakley and Rodman are called for the double foul. And Starks throws the ball away, and Ewing glares at Starks as the Bulls sensing an opportunity here against Don Nelson's Knicks, trailing by 8 with 3.5 to play in the 3rd.
To win in this building, even playing poorly offensively, you need great poise. Let's see if the Knicks have it.
That's the test, and Don Nelson will find out about his club. Foul is on Harper. That is the 5th Knicks team foul. So Jordan will go to the line and shoot 2.
Very important to get past mad, as we call it. Don't get mad to the point where it upsets your game.
What is it, past mad? I never heard
past mad. That was an expression that Bill Laimbeer used consistently in the bench. When we get all upset at officials or someone in a particular situation, get past mad, get back to focusing on playing the basketball game. It's a hard thing to sell when people get emotional, but somebody's got to be in control emotionally.
76ers end their 11-game losing streak, and you called it today. Derek Coleman back in there, and you knew he'd have a good game somehow.
I don't even know the stats. I bet he got 20 and 10. I'll bet the house.
Well, you had him with the Nets, and he was a terrific player for you.
They will get a lot better in Philadelphia. You'll see a lot better with him in the lineup. That team will start winning basketball games.
And the Bulls are getting a lot better right now as Jordan hits the 2 free throws. The Knicks lead is down to 69-63.
And the Bulls are going down court as much as they can, every opportunity they can, to try to disrupt the Knicks and get them out of sync.
Mason giving up his dribble. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Nowhere to go. Forces it up and scores. And that was amazing that the Knicks were even able to get a shot off.
Scottie Pippen really frustrated, and he just loses the basketball.
So at the other end, the Bulls lose it again in Mason. Tipped away by Harper. Last touch by Derek Harper. And credit Ron Harper for an aggressive play trying to intercept the pass.
Well, certainly if the Bulls come back and possibly win this game, it wasn't done offensively. It was very definitely done on the defensive end.
Which, of course, would be the keynote to a playoff meeting between these teams. Luke Longley from outside. Longley with 8 points, and now it's a 6-point game.
If they run that pick and roll, they can get a good shot for a key player anytime they want. I know I spent a lot of nights studying this club and running that pick and roll against them.
And beating them. Mason working against Rodman, double team, Starks driving the hoop, draws the foul, and a good aggressive play by John Starks.
Fearless is the word. Combative, defensive, and fearless.
What about those fans in New York that maybe not like the fact that Starks will throw up the threes? Remember the Houston 7th game a couple of years ago? What's your answer to that, John?
My answer is that if I'm a coach in this league, I want a guy who plays defense. He's a fearless guy. He plays so hard defensively. And he's a good shooter. He's a solid offensive player. You got to get past all of that and quit worrying about one game. This is a terrific 2-guard every facet of the game.
Luke Longley committing his 5th foul will leave the game, and Bill Wennington replaces him. Wennington had 6 points and had some good time and productive playing time in the first half for the Bulls. 2:14 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's been all New York tonight, but their lead is by no means safe. Starks gives them a 73-65 lead.
Let's see if, in fact, the Bulls go back to that pick and roll, which has been so effective for them. Here it is again. This is a part of their offense. They draw all of the people to Jordan. That they've got to do is swing it ahead and swing it across court, and somebody will be wide open.
Jordan gives up the dribble under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 7 on the shot clock. Isolating Jordan against Harper. Jordan connects, hits the outside shot, and Michael Jordan, who had 4 points at halftime, now has 11 to cut the lead to 73-67. And on the steal, it's Scottie Pippen. Knicks get back on defense. Trying to cut the lead down to 4 or less. Ron Harper drives in, and he is fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
The Knicks personal foul, Charles Oakley is fourth.
Oakley with his 4th.
Here's Jordan. Watch the athletic ability of this guy. Watch this go up and hesitate, almost get the shot blocked, still able, never the power to get it.
And before Jordan hit, he had missed his last 7 from the field.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new 3rd door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
What do you need to fall in love again?
That's this Friday at 8 p.m. on TNT with Bob Neal and Hubie Brown. And we'll be seeing the Orlando Magic, Chuck, a week from tonight right here at the United Center for their second confrontation of the year against the same Chicago Bulls.
Here's that pick and roll. Here comes Scottie Pippen off. Draws. Both guys leaves. Longley wide open for the shot. They can get some pretty good shots, even though they're struggling offensively. And what we're seeing tonight, you indicated earlier, it's playoff intensity basketball, which is defensive basketball. And what you have to really work at is how do we get people some shots.
Charles Oakley goes out with 4 fouls as Spike Lee made the journey from New York. Not surprising to see the Knicks and the Bulls, his friend Michael. Very familiar scene with Reggie Miller when the Indiana Pacers have played the Knicks at the Garden in the playoffs. By the way, Oakley is replaced by Charles Smith. Ron Harper misses the first free throw. Harper's numbers tonight. He said, MJ is back, and we have to keep the games close and let him do his thing, and that's what the Bulls are trying to do tonight.
Back in that down-court press. Get away with the steal.
Rodman with the steal. Pippen tries to get it into Harper. Not a good pass by Scottie Pippen. And the Knicks get the ball back. Charles Smith driving to the basket, and an offensive foul called against Smith, and he's limping.
This pressure has really bothered the Knicks, and they're in position to really handle it. Smith was unsure what to do with the basketball. He's hurt a little bit.
And let's see if he comes out of the game. He picks up his third.
Here's Smith coming down the left side. He's decided to go all the way. Bangs into Wennington. Gets hit right in the knee or the thigh.
5-point lead for the Knicks. Jordan with a fake gives up the dribble, but Harper stays with him. Good D by Derek Harper. Wennington feeds Jordan. There's the fake. Harper got his hand in the way, and Ron Harper with the rebound and the foul will go to the line. I tell you, Derek Harper is doing a terrific job on Jordan, but Ron Harper playing big right now.
Ron Harper, who's been, as we talked about earlier, he diminished his time when he went out west, but tonight he has been a needed force.
Charles Smith chalks up his 4th foul. Stayed in the game, though he was limping, and Charles Oakley apparently will come in. Now Oakley is playing with 4 fouls as well. We have under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly in a game that has delivered everything that was advertised between the Bulls and the Knicks.
And I think all of their meetings will be probably basically a very hard-fought defensive contest. Nobody gets an easy shot, and certainly you're going to take hard fouls.
Harper looking to get into double figures. How about Anthony Mason? 46 minutes last night, has played every minute so far tonight.
And he will play every minute tonight. Now the Bulls take off the press. Normally they've been pressing after every free throw. They take it off and allow the Knicks to run their offense.
Kukoc in the game for Chicago. Starts as Harper misses the 2. Rodman the rebound. Outlet pass to Jordan. 16 rebounds for Rodman on his return. 15 on the shot clock. Differential of about 17 seconds between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Rodman from Jordan. Basket good and a foul, and the Bulls can tie it up.
Great pass by Michael Jordan. Here's Michael working hard to get a shot. Finds Rodman, who really will only shoot under those kind of situations when he catches the ball. He makes a great play right here.
Rodman gets his own rebound on the missed free throw. It's a 73-72 game. The Knicks lead, and the Bulls can play for the last shot. Kukoc outside, guarded by Oakley, who has 5 personal fouls and is still in there. 6 on the shot clock. Harper with a runner. Misses. And the Knicks control, but that'll do it as the Bulls outscore the Knicks 7-0 to end the 3rd period. And After 3 periods of play, Michael Jordan has 11, and the Knicks lead 73-72.
Corded power in your hand. Corvette backed by Eureka with powered brush roll. And now cordless Boss power that can clean anywhere. Unbelievable price. Corded Corvette back, cordless Boss hand back. Both hot values only from Eureka.
Out in Canyon City, Colorado, helping people is always in season at Sonny's Ace Home Center. And during the Ace Holiday Happening Sale, your local Ace can help you save on all your holiday favorites. That's why Ace is a place with a helpful hardware phone.
Take one. I've always had fun playing. That's what drives me. I mean, I get joy out of just watching basketball. And anything can happen in the NBA. The players, they take it to another level. Every player at this level can do something totally amazing. It's exciting. It's fun. It's just a great game. I'm just a basketball junkie. I love the game.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are the kind of people who like to work on their cars themselves. That way they save money, and they know the work's done right. Of course, when they come to AutoZone, they know they're going to find the right part for the right price. But sometimes, what they're looking for is just a little advice. And that's okay, because we don't put a price tag on it. You see, at AutoZone, we take pride in taking care of our customers, and we've learned that when you treat folks right, they keep coming back.
Back here at the United Center, the Bulls outscored the Knicks 29-17 to cut at what was at one point a 16-point lead down to 1. And the Bulls, who were quiet in the shooting department, came out strong in the third quarter. Bulls 47% to 33 for the Knicks after shooting only 39 in the first half. But Michael Jordan, someone would have told you, Chuck, 3 for 17 and his team trailing by only 1 going to the fourth period.
I'd be shocked.
Right now, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Dick, at the huddle just moments ago, Don Nelson's biggest gripe was the job the Knicks were doing against the press. He said, we're doing a horrible job. That was the difference in the third quarter. He now has Grant, Harper, and Starks in the game at the same time to try to beat the pressure from the press.
With Ewing and Mason. And a foul as Ewing draws the foul to start this fourth quarter.
This is a trick that a lot of coaches use. Don Nelson used it. Go small, 3 guards, and try to make them match up. What you have to decide on the other end is, do you want to match up this way?
Bill Winnington with his third personal foul, and Patrick Ewing now with 19 points. The Bulls have Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr in the backcourt with Kukoc, Pippen, and Winnington up front. And 20 now for Ewing. He is the game's high scorer. Knicks up by 3. Pippen working against Starks, and they're going to call Starks for the pushing foul. For Starks, his third.
He closed the gap down, but you know what he's saying? He's saying, I had my forearm on. I did not use my hand, but he does not want to lose his temper right here. Remain under control.
Grant is guarding Kerr. They've got Starks on Pippen. Mason defending against Kukoc. Harper on Jordan. Pick and roll, Winnington. Not this time, and knocked out by Kukoc to Kerr, and he misses. Bulls had their chances.
They found a way to get a good shot. They get the right people. Here's Tony Kukoc.
On the steal. It's a 3-on-3. Kukoc spins around Grant. What a move by Kukoc against Gary Grant. And it's 75-74. The Knicks lead down to 1 again.
Right now, the Knicks are very, very small.
Into Ewing against Winnington. And draws the foul. So they're going into Patrick Ewing, their meal ticket, and he'll shoot a pair. The foul on Winnington, his fourth.
And watch Patrick Ewing wheeling and getting into the lane, getting in very quickly and getting fouled.
Patrick Ewing at the line, 2 shots.
Just a very, very bad pass. Anytime you throw a one-handed bounce pass, that length of the floor, there's a good chance it'll be picked off.
Patrick Ewing did not shoot a free throw in the first half. Neither did Pippen and Jordan, for that matter. He hits 2 here, so he is 6 for 7 from the line here in the second half. And the Knicks again lead by 3. At one point, they had a 16-point edge. Feed into Kukoc against Mason. Mason isn't giving him any room. Kerr goes low to Jordan, posting up against Derek Harper. Fall away, Jordan, he's got it. Michael Jordan with 13 points, only his 4th basket of the game.
And he's got 2 here in the last 5 minutes. That doesn't bode well for the New York Knicks.
And Starks fires up a 3, and he rushed that shot too quick.
Way too quick. He was open, but he had plenty of time to catch the ball, improve his position. But that's the poise that you have to have in the other guy's building, or you're not going to be successful in winning.
And that's the patience that you and Don Nelson wanted to see if the Knicks had. And a foul called against Patrick Ewing, and that will be his 2nd foul. But the Knicks now with their 2nd team foul.
Don Nelson calling John Starks over and say, this is the play we want next time down. We want to get a good shot. Now it's a case of getting good shots every time down the floor as the clock winds down.
Jordan going to the hoop, lays it in, and the Bulls lead it by a score of 78-77. It's their first lead since the early going of this game, and a timeout called by the Knicks, and the crowd gives the Bulls a standing ovation. The last full lead was 8-6 before this layup by Jordan. He's got 15, and Chicago has come back from 16 to take the lead.
I really don't like soft drinks with fruity names. I like roller coaster rides that make my brain sweat. I find reasons to go a different way. My family and I enjoy life to the utmost. So if you want to experience my joy, don't ride with me. Buy your own.
If it fits a little better, if it holds up a little longer, if it feels a little more comfortable, don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
So a shot here will have to be miraculous, and it is! Inbound, gets it to Van Exel, he makes the win. Oh!
Kid with 2 seconds. 35.
Yes! Yes! Good if it goes! Go! With 3 seconds, Preston. Got it at the buzzer! You got 11!
Rise with the ball, puts up a prayer. Yeah!
Oh, sweet it is!
This is TBS, the bomb station.
Now it's time for tonight's Dutch Boy in the Paint. Ewing with 22 points. The Bulls centers, Winnington and Longley, have 14. That's not surprising. The rebound story, though, Chuck, gives the Bulls a lead of 37-29. Knicks trailing for the first time since 8-6 in the first couple of minutes of the game. Starks looking Ewing low. Ewing over Winnington short. Pippen the rebound. Michael Jordan has 11 points of his 15 in the second half.
This is a time where the coaches are going to start earning their keep in terms of making calls I know the players are going to take over the game, particularly a play like that by Jordan. But you've got to come up with a call. You feel like, as a coach, I got to help my club here. I got to get the ball in the right guy's hand at the right time.
Anthony Mason with his third foul and the 13th foul against New York. Charles Smith will give Patrick Ewing a breather right now. Ewing goes out having scored 22.
Good read by Don Nelson. You could see that Patrick Ewing looks a little tired. Legs not quite in the shot.
Jordan gets the basket, rolls it in, and gets the foul. And Michael Jordan is cooking now.
He has been able to do it outside all year. Tonight he struggled. He said, I'm going to get to the basket. He's getting there, and almost all of his points in the second half have come off of plays like this where he gets to the basket. In this case, he not only scores, but gets fouled.
And Mason with another one now with 4 personal fouls. Jordan hits the free throw. He's got 18 in the game, and the Bulls lead by 4. It's been a dramatic turnaround in this game. We have 9:25 remaining in the fourth period. Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly in a game that has been exactly what it was billed, a confrontation between two intense rivals, the Bulls and the Knicks. Knicks led by as many as 16, but the Bulls have come back in the second half to take the lead. The Knicks have not gotten a basket, however, in nearly 6 minutes. Here's Grant going all the way for the layup.
Nice addition to this club. As Phil Jackson said, we had him. All we had to do is make sure he couldn't get to his right hand. This is a little bit of history of the Knicks. Not having that extra guy to go to offensively.
Jordan goes around Mason, gets a piece of it. Fine defensive play by Anthony Mason, and they're going to call Kukoc with a foul on Grant, and that may be a smart foul on Kukoc because the Knicks had numbers.
Yeah, they had numbers. They were going to lay it in on the other end. He grabbed. I'm not sure that he totally realized that. I think it was a reach-in foul, but not a bad one.
We would rather give him the credit, though, for being an astute defensive player there and making that foul.
Absolutely.
Give him the benefit of the doubt, although you may have a point. 3 fouls on Tony Kukoc. And the 4th team foul on the Bulls, each team with 4.
That's the next. Where do you go? Where do you go to score now? Ewing's not in there. How are you going to score?
Grant. That's the problem, and a good one. You've got Mason, Grant, Smith, Harper, and Starks. Maybe it starts. Pass back from Pippen to Kukoc. And the Bulls fortunate to get it back. Good hustle that time by Kerr. Wennington lost it.
What a great pass by Tony.
Derek Harper picked up by Pippen. Not double teaming Mason. He'll put it up over Kukoc. What a great point you made, Chuck. The Knicks have no offensive firepower out there right now.
Well, and they get Mason. They back off. They say, you go ahead. You beat me over the top. And Mason has to take what the defense is going to be. Here's Jordan on the pick and roll again.
With Smith guarding him. Jordan from the top. Short. Rebound. Starks. And Mason tears it away. And they're going to call Scottie Pippen with the foul.
The Bulls personal foul. Scottie Pippen, his first.
Bill Jackson.
Penalty.
Screaming at his troops saying, get down and help him. We want more pressure down court. We've got this thing going in the second half because of down court pressure. He does it. Pippen was down there. He said, come on up. Take away the passing lanes.
Ewing getting a breather right now, but you know he'll come in for the crunch time shortly. Foul on Pippen was his first. Rodman will come back into the ball game. Rodman has given the Bulls what they've needed off the glass, 17 rebounds. Bulls are in the penalty, and Mason misses the first free throw. Next Wednesday, we'll be right back here. The Magic and the Bulls, as the Bulls will try to avenge one of their 2 setbacks.
And Hardaway, Felt got the best of Mr. Jordan. I sense that Mr. Jordan will be ready for that rematch next Wednesday.
I think he is looking for that duel. And Mason misses both free throws. He is 2 for 6 from the line.
Talked about it earlier. In a big game against a good defensive club, the Knicks struggle to get that 100-point mark.
And they're struggling again with 7.5 to play. Kerr slices in and gets the layup. Steve Kerr with his first basket of the game.
Ran a good cut, curl, and got all the way in the lane. And the weak side of the defense was sound asleep.
Bulls again with a 4-point lead, matches their biggest. But it's been mostly the Knicks tonight. Chicago in a big second-half rally here. Grant fires up and hits. Grant with his second basket of this quarter has 8.
He's been a great pickup for this club and probably going to add to them offensively. He's going to be better. Harper gets tired some nights as the season goes on. He's going to be a welcome addition.
Bulls lead is 2 points. Kukoc against Derek Harper. And he works him in. Kukoc at 6'11", working against Harper at 6'4".
Too small, too big, too smart. He's not going to take a bad shot out of it.
Again, the Bulls by 4. Remember, they're undefeated here at the United Center. 6-0 on the year. Starks with a runner from the baseline, and that's his first basket of the second half.
Going to have to get him open shots or get him into a pick and roll where he can create something happen and get Ewing back in the game where he can get a shot out of the double teams on Ewing if they in fact decide to double team.
Kukoc double teamed and a New York foul, and Ewing's going to check back in with 6:18 remaining.
What's so dangerous about Tony Kukoc is when you have him on that post-up, he's going to work for the shot. If you double team, he is not a good passer. He is a great passer and will find the open man.
Here is Tony Kukoc, 72% free throw shooter. Ewing is checked back into the game, and John Starks goes out. Starks goes out having scored 20 points. 76ers ended their 11-game losing streak, beating Dallas handily. The Washington Bullets defeated the Atlanta Hawks. Chris Webber with a season-high 27, and Charlotte beating Cleveland. The Bulls bench have dominated the Knicks to the tune of 31-11 tonight, Chuck, and have a 4-point lead.
Too strong, and here's Michael Jordan back in the game, pressuring the ball, making it very difficult for Grant. I'm surprised they're giving Grant his right hand as much as they are.
Harper got her by Pippen with 6 on the shot clock. Grant loses the ball, and it's last touched by the Knicks.
For all of those fans who say they don't play defense in the NBA, you watch what happens over the next 5:54 defensively on both ends of the floor.
You're looking at one of the grueling defensive players, and Pippen, who has the ball as well. 4-point Bulls lead. There's that bulge we talked to you about with the Bulls over the Knicks. Kukoc working outside against Charles Smith. Jordan with a fall away. He found the mark, didn't he, in the second half? Michael Jordan with 20 points. Remember, he had only 4 at the half.
There was no question he was going to get him. And Phil Jackson says, come on out, pressure the ball.
Biggest lead now for the Bulls as Grant high off the glass against Rodman coming in.
And they went to that eye pick and roll, which is so tough to handle, particularly with Ewing in there because he's such a great shooter.
Greg Grant, or Gary Grant, with 10 points. And the Bulls call a timeout. Grant has scored 6 points here in the fourth quarter.
You know, sometimes being known as a parts expert can be mighty big shoes to fill. Of course, this time of year, I got some mighty big stockings to fill, too.
Come fill your stockings at Napa's Holiday Gift Sale, where you'll find great items at low prices, like these Chilton repair manuals, just $15.99, and a Napa starter charger for only $39.99 after mail-in rebate. While you're here, apply for the Napa card, the new convenient way to pay at Napa.
America running.
Hey, come on down here. This right here, this is the line. It's the three-point line. You do this, it's worth nothing. Now you do this, now this could be worth $1 million. This is what separates the winners from the losers. Are you ready to step up to the line? You're not stepping anywhere until you go to Foot Locker, because when you vote for your favorite NBA All-Star, you're automatically in a Foot Locker $1 million shot sweepstakes. This shot's worth $1 million, if you can make it.
This is a staple in the NBA where you'll see Ewing come up and set a pick and roll, a pick right there. Grant comes off of it. Indecision right here. Watch what happens. Rodman's too late.
Charles Oakley.
5:09 remaining in the fourth period. Knicks 7-2 on the road. They have the best road record along with these Bulls, who are 7-2 away from the United Center. But Chicago undefeated, 6-0 at home. Don Nelson's Knicks, after an impressive first half, find themselves on the short end of a 4-point game. Jordan working against Anthony Mason. Great step to the hoop. Misses the shot, and Smith clears.
They wanted that isolation. They knew the matchup. Mason did a good enough job so that Jordan couldn't get the ball up and over.
Neither team has a foul to give. Grant, with a big performer in this fourth quarter. Double team on Smith. They find Oakley, and Oakley misses the layup inside. He had good position. Here's Pippen. Throws it off of Ewing and into the hands of Mason. Ill-advised pass because the Knicks anticipated the pass inside.
Neither club getting good shots here. Smith in the basketball game, but he is limping. I don't know how much he'll want to do, either rebounding or even when he has the ball.
Grant hits a two. He was on the line, but Grant now with 8 points here in this fourth quarter and cuts the Bulls' lead to 2. High post is Luke Longley. Grant stays with Pippen, and on the screen loses his man. Kukoc, no good on the three, and Ewing with the rebound. Patrick now with 7. Grant looking for Smith inside. Charles Smith with a turnaround, and the rebound by Rodman. He has got 19 off the glass. So he has delivered off the rebounds exactly what the Bulls bargained for when they got him from San Antonio.
Both clubs struggling to score a field goal right now.
Pippen over Grant. Banks it in. 20 for Scottie Pippen. So Pippen and Jordan each with 20. And 18 for Kukoc off the bench.
Nelson's going to have to look to Harper if they're going to continue to go to Pippen in that low post.
Bulls 91, the Knicks 87. Getting close to 3 minutes remaining in the fourth. Grant with 7 on the shot clock. Fires it up. That was not exactly what Don Nelson would have drawn up. And under 3 minutes to play, and the Bulls with a 4-point lead in the ball.
Great little exchange here. Rodman got poked in the nose by an elbow by Longley, but he said, hey, great play. I'd like to see that from you.
Winning will do that, or leading will do that, in this case. Pippen. Turnaround by Scottie Pippen. He has 10 points here in the second half. 22 in the game. It's 93-87. Ewing throws it away, and here's Jordan. This will be a show for sure. Or maybe not.
No, he said, I've got to work hard too hard to get anything. I'm going to take it easy.
The Bulls have their biggest lead of the game as the Knicks call a timeout. For Jordan, the Bulls have run off 6 in a row.
Johnson's back.
It's about time you came back to us.
Back for some of those intrepid horses. Back for the ride. How about that leather?
Mr. Johnson, you with us?
Mm-hmm. This is me.
Dodge Intrepid. Come back to a new you. Come back to the new Dodge.
Yo, you think you got a game? Mine's a rim-rocking, spin-dribbling, rain-making, turn-styling. Try me, tip-in, rebounding, fly-swatting, outta here. 180, 360, tomahawk-wielding, alley-ooping, crossover, behind-the-back passing, mid-air dishing, hang, and throwing it down. You know what kind of game. You want some of that? Bring your best game. NBA Live 96, the ultimate judge on any of these home arenas. If it's in the game, EA Sports, it's in the game.
Hey, come on down here. This right here, this is the line. It's the three-point line. You do this, it's worth nothing. Now you do this, now this could be worth $1 million. This is what separates the winners from the losers. Are you ready to step up to the line? You're not stepping anywhere until you go to Foot Locker, because when you vote for your favorite NBA All-Star, you're automatically in a Foot Locker $1 million shot sweepstakes. This shot's worth $1 million, if you can make them.
Watch this exchange inside. Longley and Rodman fighting the rebound. Longley gets it with the left elbow, then catches with the right. And Rodman says, wow, watch what Rodman does. Hey, big guy, you're getting tough. We love it.
The Knicks 56 points in the first half, only 31 here in the second, and you pinpointed the problem the Knicks have. Who is their go-to guy? They've got Ewing in there now. Ewing goes to the basket and misses the layup. Oakley, the rebound, fires it up and tipped in by Charles Oakley. He's got 13 points, and we have under 2 minutes to play. It's a 6-point Bulls lead.
You got to credit the Bulls defensive. They came out so aggressive in the second half. They have more than one way to go. They don't have to defend on one guy offensively and can really defend.
Pick and roll, Longley picked up by Oakley. Knicks defended it well. Here's Kukoc. Jordan with 3 on the clock. Longley, the rebound, and is fouled. Big offensive rebound by the Australian, Luke Longley.
Waited in there, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Oakley does it so well for the Knicks. Waits in the lane. Rodman doesn't. If they can get their centers to do this, pick up key rebounds at this point in the game and get to the foul line, it'll really help this club, as if they need any more help.
Well, I was going to ask you when we started the game, how could the Bulls get any better with Rodman in there? And we found out to the tune of 19 rebounds how they could be better as Kukoc gets a hand.
Yeah, and they needed that tonight because the Knicks came out so aggressive. Without Rodman, I don't think they could have stayed in the game.
Kukoc goes out with 18. Here's the pressure by the Bulls, who are 17 of 20 from the line. That's helped their cause tremendously. Starks. Defended by Pippen with under a minute and a half to play. 8-point lead by the Bulls. Matches their biggest of the game. Mason knocked Rodman down. Starks for 3. And John Starks with his 3rd from downtown.
And a huge field goal at this point in the game with a little over a minute to go. Gets it within 5.
That's 2 possessions for the Knicks. Each team with 2 timeouts and a 20 left. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan double team. Longley has it blocked by Ewing. And Mason to Starks. And the Knicks will come now within 3. 97-94. Under a minute to go.
Well, Bill Jackson elects not to take a timeout. He's going to go ahead and play. We've got 2 of the 20 for New York. We've got 2 of the 20 for Chicago.
11 on the shot clock. 38 on the game clock. Here is Jordan spinning his way in. Fall away. In and out. Scramble for the loose ball, and the Knicks have it. The Knicks have it, but the Bulls could get the possession again. It's 97-94 in favor of the Bulls. Anthony Mason working his way in, and a Bulls foul, and Mason will go to the line to shoot 2 with 19.9 on the clock.
Chicago seemingly in control of this game. All of a sudden, Starks gets the 3-pointer, gets the breakaway, but on the other end, Michael isn't trusting his teammates. He came off on the pick and roll, did not go for the pass to the guy when Longley was wide open. Instead, he went for the shot and allowed the Knicks to get down court and get fouled.
Mason is only 2 for 6 from the line tonight. And a big miss for Anthony Mason as Kukoc checks back in the game. Mason 2 for 7. And the best he can do now is bring the Knicks to within a pair. Plenty of timeouts. That's not a factor in this one. He missed them both. Rodman is fouled, and he'll go to the line with 18.3 remaining.
And that's the guy they wanted to foul because they want to put Dennis on the line.
You think this crowd's glad he's back?
Oh, and what a tough rebound that was.
20 on the night for Dennis Rodman. That was just a good night's work when you had him in Detroit.
We didn't use him as a starter.
Rodman will go to the line.
Dennis Rodman to the line.
He is 1 for 3 from the free throw line tonight.
At times he will nonchalant it. I don't think here. And he gets it.
And he has made this a two-possession game by hitting the first free throw. One out of two, and the Knicks call a timeout. So they have 1 plus the 20 with 17.4 seconds remaining. And we'll be back here at the United Center after these messages.
You're watching TBS. We give bombs like no one else.
Every woman, every man, join the caravan.
It's the new Dodge Caravan. Redesigned for the 90s and beyond. Caravan is for the large stuff you love. The little stuff you love. The lifting and sliding stuff you love. Hey, America, join the Caravan of Love. We thought of everything.
When developing the Seiko Kinetic watch, we applied for 50 patents. How could we fit them all inside? We took out the battery. Seiko Kinetic, the amazing quartz watch that never needs a battery.
Knicks ball, Chuck, trailing by 4.
Well, the one thing that Chicago Bulls do not want to do is foul on a three-point attempt. Don't foul on that attempt. They can give up a 2, still have possession with the ball.
Let's go to Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Coach Nelson said to look for John Starks going off a pick, but they said if Patrick Ewing's open underneath, give him the ball in a hurry, then try for a steal. Don't foul right away. Go for the steal. Obviously, they need 2 possessions.
I know where this play is going to go. Patrick's going to come up and set a short little screen. Starks is going to make a shallow cut to the inside.
All right. Oakley will inbound with 17.4 seconds remaining. Ewing working against the double team. Backs it off the glass. And we'll have a foul called against the Knicks. And that means stealing for them. Charles Oakley has fouled out of the game. His 6th foul as he leads after scoring 13.
They couldn't get exactly what they wanted, but they got the ball to Mason. Mason penetrated, kicked for Ewing. Ewing had a pretty good shot at it. Could have gone, would have brought it to a 2-point game.
Charles Smith will replace Oakley, who has fouled out.
They get the ball to Mason. You can't always get it where you want. Here comes Mason. Penetration, trying to get inside. Gets to Ewing. Ewing gets tight. He makes that shot 5 out of 10 times.
Luke Longley now 5 for 5 from the line, 11 points. He and Wennington have both played well at center against Ewing, who, by the way, Chuck, has not had a basket in the last 15 minutes of this game. Longley hits them both. The Knicks will call a timeout. So all they have left is a 20 and trailing by 6. So they need somehow, some way, a couple of threes. Timeout. We'll be back.
Once upon a time, 3 girls went to Rock Steady for a pickup game.
Oh, we got Nick.
Lisa is the center of U.S. women's basketball team. Cheryl's a forward. Dawn is a point guard.
Take the jump, Lee. We'll take it again. That's the next one.
And this isn't a fairy tale, so they didn't beat every guy, but they beat enough to say, basketball is basketball, athletes are athletes.
You, son, are playing with the gods. And when you're out there, breathing in the hot, stinky breath of the gods. And still, what in the sand hill am I doing here? You are not ready.
The Bulls lead 100-94, and the Knicks with a timeout at 10.6 seconds remaining. Want to remind you, Chuck and I will be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time as the Orlando Magic face these same Bulls here at the United Center. The Knicks Knicks now with only a 20-second timeout remaining. Neither team has any fouls to give, and basically what the Knicks need is a three-point basket, getting the ball back either by fouling and having the Bulls miss free throws and hopefully miss them both, and then getting another three. That's their only chance.
That's their only chance. The Bulls won't want to make a mistake here and commit.
They would appear to be
on a three, but
smart for that.
Yeah, they'll give the two. All they want to do is take some seconds off the clock.
Starks. And here is Smith for three. No good. The rebound, Longley, and he is fouled. And that will take care of this one. And with 2.1 seconds to go, amazing comeback tonight by the Bulls.
Yeah, they've got so many ways to beat you. In other words, they've got the ultimate in Jordan in terms of scoring. Then they can bring Kukoc off the bench, who can make a lot of things happen. Obviously, you have a great player in Pippen, but they play great defense so many ways, even when they're struggling in one phase of the game. This has to be a little bit of a disappointing game for New York, but not that big. This educates Don Nelson about his club, and they find out more about themselves.
Michael Jordan said the one thing that the Bulls learned on their West Coast trip is how to win when they don't play great basketball. They find ways to win, and that's what they did tonight. And you're right, the Knicks couldn't have played any better in that first half.
Well, they shot the ball so well.
And Michael Jordan got hot late and ended up with 22 points as the Chicago Bulls have defeated the New York Knicks by a score of 101-94. So had a lead as much as 16 points in the first half. Saw their lead dwindle in the second half. 17 points in the third quarter for the Knicks and 21 in the fourth quarter. And if you don't think that the Chicago Bulls are delighted to a man to have Dennis Rodman back after missing 12 games, 20 rebounds for Dennis. I know you know Chuck from a last life, okay? Congratulations.
You know what? He told me that truth last night. We ran into each other by accident, had dinner together. He said, "Oh, I won't be playing tonight. I won't be playing. I'll come over and do some few minutes with you live on television." You lied to me again.
I'm doing it right now, Chuck. Hey, Dennis, let me ask you this. When did you decide, and when did you and Chuck and Phil Jackson decide that you could go tonight? And were you surprised at how well you ended up playing after all of this?
Well, for some reason, I didn't want to play tonight, but they needed me, and that's kind of, you could say selling out, but I had to do it for the fans. The fans want to come and see a good game, so I had to go out there and play.
How did it feel in this game, coming back the way you did with the 20 rebounds and everything?
Well, this is the way Dennis Rodman normally should be playing right now. This is the way I should be playing. Intensity should be high. My concentration should be just skyrocketing, but tonight was great.
It was an interesting game in the fact that Michael Jordan struggled offensively. You helped keep them in the game with your rebounding in the first half, but this was a tough basketball game against a very physical club.
It was very physical. They got some big boys down there, and like I said, you got to go down and beat the beef, and I'm not too big, but hey, I go down and beat with them.
You made a big field goal down the stretch. Jordan caught you on the baseline. And the free throw shooting, you were a little hesitant up there early. Made one big one.
I know it, but I was just excited to be out there and see the crowd get enthusiastic, and it's great to be back.
Dennis, tell us how it has been with the Bulls. There are a lot of people that said, you know, what's this team going to be like with Dennis Rodman? How are they going to take to him? How will he act with this club? And a lot of people, me included, saying, hey, they want to win a title. They may be the only team that you really could have gone to. Tell me how it has been with this team.
Well, it's been great. The fans have been great. They like a guy that goes out there and gives his heart and soul and wears work on his sleeve, and that's what I do. And the fans just respond to some of the things I do, and that's my job.
How about the teammates?
Teammates are great. They responded and just left me to who I am, and I like it.
And they like you. 20 rebounds tonight as the Bulls with a big rally win. And right now we're going to send you back to our Atlanta studios to Vince Cellini and Dick Versace. Guys, take it away.